yards and 2 touchdowns, capping off a historic run of championships for Edmonton before winning their next title in 1987.
Hi, folks. This is Big Al from Discount Diesel Parts. Interstate McBee is a highly respected manufacturer with over 70 years' experience in the heavy-duty diesel engine parts industry. And as an authorized dealer, we've been serving Western Canada with those high-quality engine parts for highway trucks, farm machinery, heavy equipment, transit, and marine, and at a great price, too. Reach us at discountdiesel.ca and know that Discount Diesel's got the parts to get it done.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Have your sports curiosity cured.
Now we hear him. Another trick play. There's Olszewski. Whoa! Olszewski with the pass. Into the end zone. For a Giants touchdown, Jameis Winston.
A veteran of the sports reporting game for over 25 years.
Prescott thinking about running. Is he going to get there? Gets a block. He's in. Touchdown.
Breaking down Edmonton's favorite teams.
Tied at 1. Lundell from Samoskevich at 6:30. Here's Bouchard. Wide open. Roslovic scores again. Beating Bobrovsky inside the right post, and what a response from Edmonton. Just 36 seconds after Lundell had tied it. Roslovic's second of the first period.
This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, here we go for Saul 548 Tuesday, November the 25th. It's game day for the Edmonton Oilers. Actually, the only game on the NHL schedule because it's Thanksgiving week in the United States, and it's you could call it a weird schedule this week because just one game tonight. Tomorrow, almost every team is playing 15 games, and then Thursday, because of its Turkey Day down there and it's football day, there are no games in the NHL. Hey, good morning. Welcome to the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select on your AM radio dial, Sports 1440 on your morning drive, wherever you're heading out this morning off to work or wherever you are joining us from. Really appreciate it. So you can also watch us on YouTube at Sports 1440 AM. Drop us a like, a subscription. We're also on X, Facebook, and Instagram. We're always streaming on many platforms, iHeartRadio, the TuneIn app, even on sports1440.ca. If you miss any part of any show, you can find it where all the podcasts hang out on Apple, Spotify, Google, Amazon. Subscribe, select the auto download. You'll never miss a second of the show. We'd also like a like and a subscription on YouTube for sure. Our text line is smoking hot, as always, 833-401-1440. Give us a dingle. Let us know what your thoughts are after, again, a pretty decent night in the NHL and just the one game tonight with the Dallas Stars at Rogers Place to take on the Edmonton Oilers. Stars come in with a record of 13-5-4. The Oilers, after that win Saturday in Florida against the Panthers, improved to 10-9-5, as we discussed. No Mikko Rantanen for the Dallas Stars tonight. He is serving as one-game suspension for back-to-back, basically, game misconducts. The last one was Saturday in Calgary when he rubbed Matt Coronado's face against the dasher board, and he is sitting this one out tonight. Florida, by the way, beat Nashville 8-3. We're going to get to some comments from Barry Trotz from last night. They are rather scathing, if you think about it. Tonight, keep an eye on the power plays. These are two of the very best power play units going. The Oilers come in 28.8%. Dallas 29.3%, just a shade better. The PK, the Oilers got the edge there at 82.3, and Dallas is at 75.7. So both power plays are pretty darn good. Dallas just a shade better than the Oilers at 29.3. They're 22 for 75. So they've generated a lot more power plays. You know, they're getting the calls. Right now, the Oilers and have played more games than Dallas, and they've only generated 59 power plays to 75. That tells you something. It tells you something. So keep an eye on that. That's going to be one of the critical points of tonight's game. Text 833-401-1440. In the NHL last night. So just to touch on this Panthers-Predators game. So it was 8-3 Florida over the Preds. Now, after the game, Barry Trotz, the GM, really laid into his team because he went back a couple of years ago and the team was in Vegas and they weren't playing very well. And they had a little team function. They were supposed to go to the Sphere, I believe, and watch the U2 just a concert. So like how you have golf on the road, blah, blah, blah. And now this was supposed to be the U2 concert night for the Predators. They weren't going very well. And Trotz said, "You're not going to see U2." And then, as in Trotz said last night, it became a little of the FU tour instead of U2. And it got his team to say, "Screw you." And that is the words of Barry Trotz last night. And he's just trying to get this team going instead of firing the coach, Andrew Burnett. And Trotz went on to say, over the next few weeks across the league, someone's getting fired. You're going to see it. And what you're going to hear out of again, lots of expletives here, is, "Oh man, we just underperformed. He was a good coach. We just got to be better." Takes everybody off the hook and they go, "Well, it was him, not us." So he is giving a vote of confidence here to Andrew Burnett. How that works, who knows? But I mean, a lot of this is on Trotz. I mean, he signed two big guys, Steven Stamkos, 4 years at 8. Jonathan Marchessault, 5 at 5.5. They've each scored 4 goals this season. How are they going to move out these contracts? You know, everyone's saying, well, you're going to have to eat some of the money. Well, you start doing that on a couple guys, you're behind the 8 ball, and then it takes you years to rebound. They had some draft picks that they acquired. You know, they sent Askarov out to San Jose. They have a little bit of currency, but they're last right now in the whole Western Conference, and they deserve to be last. Also in the NHL last night, Capitals over the Blue Jackets 5-1. The Flyers in Tampa. Now, look at the Lightning all of a sudden. They win 3-0. And the Lightning, they're missing 3 of their top D-men. You saw it against the Oilers last week. These guys are playing hard on the back end. Tampa on a bit of a roll. Now lead the division after beating Philly 3-0. Detroit Red Wings in New Jersey 4-3 doubles, win that one. The Rangers win just their second time on home ice, 3-2 over the Blues. How about the Golden Knights? They lose to the Mammoth 5-1. Logan Cooley had 4 goals and a helper. And then the late game, the prime game, the LA Kings double up the Senators by a score of 2-1. So what that does is move the Kings to 28 points, one back at Anaheim for first in the Pacific Division. NFL last night. Carolina in San Fran, and the Niners win 20-9 and didn't play that well. Brock Purdy threw 3 picks. Christian McCaffrey was Christian McCaffrey. I mean, I thought his tongue was going to fall out. 31 touches, had 142 yards. He's that good. He's that good, which gives us the text from MTR, of course. 8-4. He says Purdy was brutal last night. Absolutely sickening. Snowy, rainy, and windy in Cleveland on Sunday. It could be ugly. Well, they go up against Shedeur Sanders, who's now the starting quarterback in Cleveland. We'll see what kind of, I mean, Purdy's the guy. I mean, Purdy, you gave him $250 million or whatever it was. He's the guy that's the quarterback there. But man, he was getting booed, was he not, last night? And Carolina let them off the hook. Carolina had a chance to win this game because of Purdy and 3 picks. But San Fran's defense does it. And Carolina just couldn't really mount anything offensively. Pillman texts in, hey, have a fantastic show as always, gents. Really appreciate that, Pillman. We've got the Montana's Canadian curling trials on right now. And what about last night? Massive game. Old Dunsey, the sheriff, Matt Dunstone, beats Brad Gushu in an extra end to improve to 4-0 to lead the men's standings. Gushu, Jacobs at 3-1. In the women's standings, Carrie Anderson at 4-0. Rachel Homan, a game back at 3-1. It's going to be tight. The usual suspects are going to be up there. Jacobs, Gushu, Dunstone, Anderson, Holman. After that, it gets a little murky because we've got a lot of teams that are 2-2. Can't say enough about the Toronto Raptors. They beat the Cavs 110-99. Brandon Ingram was unbelievable with 37 points. That's the 8th straight win for the Raptors. They're 13-5, chasing Detroit still in the Eastern Conference, but 8 wins in a row. When you win 8, 9, 10 games in a row, that does so much for you in the big picture to make a playoff spot in any league. I mean, you look at in the NHL and guys go in the roles like that, and it is just, it almost solidifies a playoff spot. Hey, 7-11 in Edmonton. Let's welcome in the Duke of Delburne on a Tuesday morning. Good morning, Duke.
Morning, Kev. How are we doing today?
Good. Did you have hockey last night again?
No.
No?
Rare night off. I'll be back at it tonight down at Nate Sans Andrew Walker, since he'll be in working pre and post for the, like you mentioned, lone game on the schedule today. It's kind of weird when I was flipping through on a Sunday, kind of teeing up the week on what we are going to do on the show and stuff. I'm like, holy smokes, this is a pretty light day. But hey, all eyes on another Western Conference final rematch. And
15 tomorrow.
Yeah, which the Oilers will not be in on. Very light week for the Oilers. We talked about that yesterday, right? Like they play tomorrow and then some much-deserved time off after that road trip before they head out to Seattle for the matinee on Saturday. But, I watched some of the games that were on last night, some of the hockey, obviously the football game, and I was texting Connor kind of towards the end of the game and basically saying, like, I like football less after watching that game. Like, that was terrible from both sides. I'm right there with you, though. I thought the Panthers were very much in it. I know the final score indicates a two-score deficit, but you look at, like, the end zone interception by Young in the first half, obviously the other turnover, which was unfortunate because it was a missed PI call that led to it. The arm grab on Ted McMillan. Yep. The Panthers defense has come a long way. I think they deserve a lot of credit, but the offense continues to be very inconsistent and outside of Ted McMillan. I know Young spread the ball around. Like Leggett had a couple nice catches. He likes the rookie tight end Saunders.
Didn't throw deep
no,
enough.
never. And I mean, that's a pretty common thread across the entire NFL. There's very few teams that push the ball downfield with regularity anymore. And you kind of saw why, because Brock Purdy, in the first through an end zone interception of his own in the first half, right? Had a guy underneath, had even room to run it for his legs and at least pick up a first down, but he goes for the home run ball. It gets picked off, and all of a sudden the Panthers have it out at the 20 again. So you see why these trends exist, but that doesn't mean it bodes well for those of us that are viewing the game and entertainment value.
I thought when you look at the game as a whole, the two critical moments, but they're longer than a moment for me, right off the hop. I mean, that's a 7-8 minute drive. Then they had another 7-8 minute drive as well. So that's a whole quarter of football there.
Yeah. Well, it's like the clock just seemed to melt away, and then both teams were seemingly trying not to score at times between a couple and fourth down going for it.
Yeah, Carolina couldn't stop them on third down, and that was key too. There's and third and 5s and 6s, they couldn't stop them.
And let's be honest, when you look at this Niners team, yes, they have a lot of injuries, more so on the defensive side of the ball now. Yes, Ayuk is still out, and his future of the team is very much in question moving forward. But like the Niners should be good on third down. Like, for goodness sake, you have your quarterback that you paid and believe in. You got one of the best running backs in the league. You got a couple good receivers in Jennings and Pearsall, and then you got George Kittle, who's arguably the best tight end in the entire NFL. So yes, defense continues to be a bit of an issue, but they hold the Panthers to just 9 points. The Niners are going to be a team to be reckoned with here down the stretch, even with the lack of bodies they have, big name bodies across their roster.
Sometimes I always think teams get greedy, and just how the score is when you bring the score and game script into play here. So it's 17-9 and they go for the extra point, and then it's offside penalty, right?
Mhm.
So now they move up and they're going for 2. And that quelled a little bit of momentum.
Yeah.
I just thought that point, if you take that point, you're down by 7 and you're feeling good about yourselves, but now you're down by 8. And then, the field goal that made it 20-9 was the final dagger for San Fran. So 8-4, it's looking good for MTR and I guess Rowdy Piper.
Mm-hmm.
Coming up on the big program, we got Bruce Levine from the Dallas Stars, analyst with the team. We'll tee up this evening's Dallas Oilers game. Again, no Mikko Rantanen for the Stars. We've got Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network, covers the NFL and college football. We'll probably do Splitsville there because it's rivalry weekend. And I guess the first question I'm going to ask Julian, it almost seems like it's a defer to Michigan and Ohio State, it seems. That's the big rivalry game because just the way it is, it's been. Yes, there's the Iron Bowl and all these other games. But for whatever reason, it seems that's the number one game when it comes to a rivalry weekend. Frank Saravalli will be with us from Frankly Hockey and Victory Plus TV. Tons to digest across the NHL. Looking forward to the 9 o'clock hour. Brian Propp will join us. The former NHLer, he had a stroke 10 years ago, and he had to rehab his ass off here to get back to where he's living a normal life. But man, it was not looking good for Brian Propp 10 years ago. And this is a guy, he's on the verge of his numbers are worthy of being in the Hockey Hall of Fame. I don't know if he'll ever get in, but he's 1,000 points. And there are guys in the Hockey Hall of Fame far less with numbers like that. And the other thing too with Brian Propp, hell of a playoff performer. So close in so many series against the Oilers over the years, whether it be Philly, Boston, Minnesota, I guess too. 10 o'clock, we got Ryan Holt, Bakersfield Condors play-by-play man. He'll check in, plus Connor Halley, the con man from Fantasy Frenzy and the Jason Greger Show at 10:20. When we come back, Bruce Levine from the Dallas Stars organization, analyst with the team. He will check in right after the break. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming as well on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
We want orange. Give us the orange. We want orange. Bring back the orange.
You got it, Canada. Booster Juice orange smoothies are back by popular demand. The original, the marathon, and orangesicle smoothies are back and bursting with tangy zest of oranges. They're Canadian favorites. Orange, you glad they're back? Only for a limited time. So squeeze the day, smoothie lovers, and head to a Booster Juice near you now. Booster Juice, Canadian born, blending since 1999.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
You wanted local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9, check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
Heard of Uline? You know, the have-it-all in-stock, ready-to-deliver shipping and industrial supply specialists? The company that does things for you that are unheard of, like keeping 41,000 items in stock in our own warehouses. With customer service reps on the line to get you what you need, when you need it, 24/7, 365, every time. Maybe you heard it here first. Want to hear more? Visit uline.ca. ULINE. your shipping and industrial supply specialists.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, and save money at Nectar.io. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
I'm 7:20 in Edmonton. Yes, the boys are back in town after a 7-game road trip where the Oilers went 3-1, a 500 mark. They are back. The lone game on the NHL slate tonight. Dallas Stars in town. Second meeting of the season with Dallas. About 3 weeks ago, the Stars won 4-3 in Big D in a shootout. Time now for the game of the day, which is the lone game on the NHL slate. Brought to you by St. Albert Dodge. And 2025 Jeep Wrangler 1500s have 0% financing for up to 72 months. Great selection with all the new colors. The Sport Willys, Sahara, and Rubicons are all on the lot at stalbertdodge.com. As we welcome back Bruce Levine, Dallas Stars analyst, to the show. Morning, Bruce. You're with Kevin Karius. Once again, thanks for jumping on Sports 1440. Really appreciate it.
Well, it's nice to be on and talk a little hockey. You know, people down here are still talking a lot of football, so it's nice to talk hockey with people who care about hockey.
Yeah, for sure. That was a hell of a comeback, though, by the Cowboys, wasn't it?
It certainly was, and now the entire town that was hating this team 3 weeks ago is fired up and thinking the playoffs are on the horizon. We'll see what happens. There's a long way to go.
Yeah.
And with the Cowboys, anything can happen.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens on Thanksgiving for sure, because it should be a busy time down in Big D for you. So when we break down this game tonight, the lone one, as you know, on the NHL schedule, Bruce, Dallas, how would you look at their team as a whole with Glenn Gulutzan coming in? And, you know, we talked about Glenn with you here a few months ago and what it was like to have him return to Dallas. What's it been like, I guess, the first couple of months of the season? Just give us an overall review and maybe a grade, a report card on this team right now, Bruce.
Yeah, the best way to describe this team is grinding. They have found ways to get points when they probably shouldn't have. They've had a lot of ups and downs. They've had injuries, of course. The defense has been decimated, but they find ways to get points. And if there's anything that I could say under this new Glenn Gulutzan regime, it's been resilience. You've played, Jamie Benn just came back to the lineup a couple of games ago. You know, you're talking about Thomas Harley being out, Nils Lundqvist being out, Ilya Labushkin being out. Our defense is basically running, you know, the bottom pairing is really our 8th and 9th options coming into this year, but yet they're finding ways to get points. Sometimes it's the goalies are stealing one. Sometimes the offense is getting things done. But the biggest thing is you can see the way Glenn Gulutzan is trying to get this team to play his system and learn his system, especially in the defensive zone. It's taken a little bit of time, but they're not falling behind the curve with the Central Division. Yes, Colorado's off to an amazing start. Good for them. But Dallas has not fallen into the middle or the back of the pack while learning this system under a lot of adversity. So I would say, you know, certainly a B+ for Glenn Gulutzan so far. I mean, there have been some nights that the team hasn't looked good and has stolen points. So is that a good sign that you're stealing points when you shouldn't be getting them? And does this team have another level to get to? The answer is for both, probably yes.
Hey, Bruce, any update on guys like Harley, Labushkin on the back end as far as the possibility when they could return to the lineup?
You know, neither one made the trip, and that's not a good sign. You know, the team is very tight-lipped about it. My guess is that they've started skating. They're skating at the team facility in Frisco, but we have not heard anything other than, you know, Harley's week to week. Labushkin, we have not heard any updates on. We'll probably get one this afternoon at Gully's media scrum. But other than that, it does not seem like Dallas is going to be making getting any new life back to the decor. Now, the interesting thing is they went on this 4-game road trip and they didn't bring a 7th defenseman, which is really sort of rolling the dice here that these 6 guys are going to stay healthy and not get the flu or whatever. And, they're rolling with the 6 they have. And I think that's going to be what we're seeing for the near future.
How about Mikko Rantanen, the reaction across maybe, Stars Nation? The 2 checks in question results in 2 game misconducts and then the automatic game suspension. But this is a player that, he does have the past history just isn't there. What's been the reaction that you've heard on this, Bruce?
Trade him. Immediately get rid of him. No, I'm just kidding. The play against the Islanders, pretty much he got a pass on because he was forechecking. The team was down by 1. You see him clip skates with the Islanders defenseman and go into Romanov awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
You can't blame him for that. He's trying to forecheck. He gets tied up. It happens. It's a hockey play. The latest hit at Coronado, that got a little bit of a, come on, Mikko, let's tamp it down a bit. You're too valuable to be lost on plays like that. I mean, if you looked at the play, you saw Coronado's numbers, the 20, the rule where if you see the numbers, you can't plow them into the boards. It's an area, Mikko's trying extra hard because, he likes being here. He wants to win. He's putting everything he can. Glenn Golds has talked about raising the physicality, but you've got to be able to be on the right side of the line. So while Stars fans are not happy that he's not playing, you're certainly not going to, throw him under the bus for the effort or what he's trying to accomplish. You just have to stay on the right side of the line. And that's a little bit of a concern, but no one's, panicking over it. Rantanen is still the most talented guy on the team, and whatever he does, he'll find ways to get it corrected and make sure he's out there on the ice. Tonight, certainly you'd love to have him, but of the 2 checks last week, the Islanders one you can walk. The one against Calgary, there is no excuse.
Bruce Levine, Dallas Stars analyst, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. With all those defensemen out that you mentioned, Bruce, how much have they leaned on Miro Heiskanen and Esa Lindell?
Well, yeah, a ton. Yeah. And, there's a lot of talk that Miro Heiskanen does not get the credit he deserves for being a great defensive defenseman. Miro Heiskanen is playing somewhere between 25 and 30 minutes a night. Esa Lindell, usually on the penalty kill, if it's a 2-minute penalty kill, he's out a minute 50 minimum. So the Stars are leaning heavily on their 2 finished defenders. And a lot of people, feel that Miro Heiskanen doesn't get the credit for being as good offensively as he is. Here's a guy that kills penalties, quarterbacks the power play, and plays even strength against the best players whenever possible. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that whenever possible tonight, they're going to put out Miro against McDavid, which is what they love to do. He's been everything you could want and more, but his name is not usually bandied about with the Norris Trophy candidates because he doesn't put up the points of Kel McCarr or Quinn Hughes. But people around here think that Miro Heiskanen is the best overall defenseman in the NHL, and the Stars lean on him, and they will continue to lean on him.
Well, you mentioned how talented Mikko Rantanen is, and we all know that. We've seen him for years in Colorado. But what about Jason Robertson? Is he taking his game to another level here this year, Bruce?
It's interesting because a few weeks ago, before, Jason Robertson in his last 6 games has 10 goals. And prior to that, he was stuck on 3 for about a month. And Robo will tell you that he hasn't changed anything. Just the difference is pucks are going in now. He said he's not worried because he was getting chances. They were either hitting a goalie or just having bad luck. And now the pucks are going in. I don't know if Jason Robertson has raised his game, but he's certainly playing at the level he played at a couple of years ago when he had 109 points. Also, if you remember last year, Jason Robertson had surgery in the offseason, did not skate until training camp, and had a rough first 3 months trying to get back into the swing of things. Mm-hmm. But after January 1st, he was the Dallas Stars' leading goal scorer and leading point getter. So this is actually just Jason Robertson coming in healthy and being able to play at the level he knows he can play at. So I don't think it's another level. I mean, this is a guy who scored 109 points a couple of years ago. Mm-hmm. This is just Robo being Robo and doing the things that he expects to do and what the Dallas Stars want to see him do. And if you go back to last January, that's really where it all began.
What's Jimmy Neal going to do with him, Bruce? You think, he's got the 1 year remaining at 7.75, and then he's an RFA for 1 year and then a UFA after that. What are the plans, you think, for him?
I think the Stars sign him. Jim Mill. The thing about Jim Mill is you don't hear about negotiations going on in the media with Jim Mill and his staff. One day we're all going to wake up and there's going to be hey, by the way, the Stars re-signed Jason Robertson, and it's going to come out of nowhere. That's the way it worked with Harley, Ottinger. The trade for Rantanen was under the radar. That's just the way Jim Mill operates. You don't trade guys who can score 50 goals and get you 100 points. They're not easy to find. And for the Dallas Stars, who think their window to win the Cup is now, you're not going to get rid of Jason Robertson, who's a key cog in that formula. I think at some point in time, the Stars get this thing done, and everyone moves on. And then you'll deal with the salary cap ramifications as it comes along. But, giving up on guys, no matter what the trade offer is, especially if it's draft picks. Everyone talks about the Stars need more draft picks. Those guys can help you win a Cup now. And I don't see a whole lot of upside in trading Jason Robertson for futures when your team believes they can win the Cup in the next 1, 2, 3 years.
Dallas Stars analyst Bruce Levine with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. Give us an assessment of the goaltending situation right now, Bruce, with Jake Ottinger and Casey DeSmith, where, everyone knows Ottinger's the number one guy. Everyone knows that he's quite likely to be on the U.S. Olympic team. But how have you thought he's played this year?
He's had some ups and downs. It seems like Jake Ottinger, especially look at the last couple of games on the road, one in Ottawa, one in Vancouver, they fall behind 2-0 or they give up 2 goals early, and then all of a sudden he becomes the brick wall. What the Stars want to see is Jake Ottinger be the brick wall from the drop of the puck, not after a couple of goals are given up. He had a baby this year, so, he's had some things happen in his personal life which are fantastic, which may or may not taken his focus away. But for the most part, Jake Ottinger, and this is, I subscribe. Here's a name you might remember, Grant Fuhr. You guys have heard of him, right?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah, won a few games up there.
Couple.
I subscribe to the Grant Fuhr school of goaltending. If your team scores 5, your goalie has to give up 4 or less. Your team scores 3, 2 or less. And Jake Ottinger's done that. Pretty much every time he's been in the net, he's given the Stars a chance to win. So you can look at save percentage and goals against, whatever. But every night that Jake Ottinger's been in net, the Stars have had a chance to come away with 2 points. And that's part of the grinding I talked about earlier. All that being said, you want Jake Ottinger to be at another level as the season goes on, and the Stars want to see him get to that point. And Jake Ottinger, for all of his quietness and Minnesota calm, deep down wants to be not only on Team USA, he wants to be the goalie for Team USA. So he's got some goals for himself, and that's part of what he's looking at this year too, which I think is going to motivate him. And as December and January rolls on, I think we see Jake Ottinger go to another level.
He's going to be going tonight, you figure, Bruce?
Yeah, pretty much. And he didn't play against Colorado, and against Calgary. So I'm pretty sure it'll be Jake tonight against Edmonton.
How much is the return of Captain Jamie Benn? What's he meant to this team coming back?
Jamie Benn in the locker room means so much. Jamie Benn is a guy that, he's been the team captain longer than anybody else in Dallas Stars history, or even going back to Minnesota. He set the tone and the culture in the locker room, and him on the bench and him in that room means a ton to this team. He's a quiet, calming influence that leads by example, and everybody in the locker room looks up to him. So not having Jamie Benn in the locker room earlier this year didn't leave a hole. Now, Tyler Seguin and Mikko Rantanen and Pace and some of the vets did try to fill that hole as best they could and did a good job. But Jamie Benn is special. Setting the tone. And here's a guy that, you got to know, like several years ago, tornadoes ripped through Dallas and took out several players' houses. Jamie Benn went out in the storm and got Ben Bishop and his family during a tornado warning and brought him to his house. Those kind of things are legendary as far as being a captain and what that means to the team, that your captain's willing to do stuff on and off the ice for you. So Jamie Benn being back is just emotionally and mentally a lift for this team.
How long ago was that?
Bishop was still, it was pre-COVID.
Probably
I want to say
2018,
2018
yeah.
Probably 2019.
I'm just checking like when
2019,
Bishop was
something like that,
there, and that's 2018, 2019. So, man, that's the first
Yeah, I
time
think
I've heard about that
2019.
story,
Yeah,
Bruce.
you get hit. Well, you should have had me on more often.
You're a classic. Beauty. Hey, what's going on like with you family wise, the whole bit with American Thanksgiving here? I know as we talked about the schedule, we got the one game tonight, full slate of games basically tomorrow, then no games on Thursday. So what's it like down there for you?
Well, for me, with my family, there's a couple of things. My youngest son is playing Texas high school football, which you may or may not know is kind of a big deal. And they have a huge playoff game on Friday against the number 2 team in the state. So that's sort of our focus this week. There will be food. There will be fun. I've got a old guy. I got a bunch of guys that I played beer league with over the years. And every Thanksgiving we get together at 9 a.m. and play for 2 hours and then hang out in the parking lot, if you know what I mean. And I think you do. That's the way we kick off our Thanksgiving. And then we have the family over and, eat and watch Cowboys and hang out. But this year it's a little bit different because this is the first time in years that we've got a football game to be played on a Friday night. And, Friday night lights shine bright this time of the year. And everyone's really fired up about it.
What position's your son, Bruce?
He's a right tackle. He's a rather large human being.
Okay. And they play the number 2 ranked team in Texas. Like, that's obviously a pretty darn good team.
Okay, number 4 ranked team. Sorry, number 4 ranked team. I got my numbers mixed up. Number 4 ranked team in Texas. Yeah, still pretty good though.
Well, I mean, we've obviously watched all the Friday night lights and stuff like that, and we know how big Texas football is. And hey, just one more thing about on Thursday morning, where do you guys have this little pickup game? Who's all involved in this? Is it like at one of the Dr. Pepper centers or what?
Yeah, it's at one of the Star Centers, and these are guys that we've known for. We used to play against each other back, going back 25 plus years. Now we're all old and slow. But as this has gone on, I got to admit, people have raised their game. Last year, some guys brought some Caesar mix to the bench.
Well, that's a delicacy down there.
Seriously.
That's a delicacy down there, Bruce.
It's not easy finding clamato on Thanksgiving week, but they brought the entire Caesar mix, and once the game was over, it was quite fun. But this is just one of those things where you play hockey with and against people for so many years, and now it's just really a get together and hang out and catch up and find out how everyone's family's doing and how the kids are doing, and it's just great to see all the. I hate to say the old guys and actually have it be literal, but that's the case. But it's nice to see everyone. And it's our tradition. Every year we get about 30 to 40 people, actually more than that, 60 people together and just go out and skate, which is a great way to kick off Thanksgiving.
That's awesome. Up here, Bruce, we call it Thursday Hockey, Old Milwaukee.
I think you guys can do better for beer than that, but that's your business.
Hey, Bruce, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate it. Enjoy tonight's game, and happy Thanksgiving to you and your family. Have a wonderful holiday.
I appreciate it, Kevin. You have a great one too. Take care.
That's Bruce Levine from Dallas Stars analyst. And our game of the day brought to you by St. Albert Dodge, where the Jeep Wrangler 1500s have 0% financing for up to 72 months. Great selection of all the new colors, the Sport, Willys, Sahara, Rubicons, all in the lot at stalbertdodge.com. Now, Duke, that would be cool to be down in Dallas, Texas, where I don't know if you've been down there, but
no.
Obviously you don't have rinks on every corner.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't have hockey facilities. And that's why, so 20 some years ago, the first time I went down there was covering the playoffs in whatever it was, 99 or whatever it was. Maybe 2000. I can't remember now, but, they were just getting a lot of the facilities built, and they called them the Dr. Pepper centers. And that was the big sponsor for the Dallas Stars. And what they would have been is just like a little smaller practice facility, would seat maybe 500 or something like that. And that's where you're trying to grow the game. You think about all there's been a few kids now that have come out of Dallas, right? That have, that's where they started playing. So, but could you imagine playing on a Thanksgiving?
Oh,
Thursday?
that sounds great. Like, that sounds like a lot of fun.
Well,
how different is that? Like, I don't know. Thanksgiving is very big in the United States. So, like, just I don't know if you've ever done stuff like this, Kevin, on Christmas. Maybe when you were younger, is that like Christmas morning? Maybe after the first rush of presents and stuff, then you get everyone in the neighborhood or whatever out for a little shinny game at the ODR or something.
Well, we were on the lake, so we would just go right on the lake, Duke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, but that's what we did. Thanksgiving is, to a lot of Americans, way bigger than Christmas. So, and I think the way they have it set up, because everyone basically travels on the Wednesday. You're going home, and that's where it's a busier travel day, and you got 5 days, and you rip her up Wednesday night and Thursday, and then a lot of people go do movies and shopping on the Friday. So, pretty cool story though. Like, and again, if he's saying that they get 40, 50 guys out, I can't believe he didn't like the old Milwaukee beer selection for our Thursday hockey.
Well, I think that's just, if anything, a sign of respect from Bruce, because he knows how good the beer is up here compared to maybe some of the American counterparts. So he's maybe a little just disappointed that that's what you're. I'm with you and Josh. I know you guys have both really propped this up as an option. I think old Milwaukee's fine. It's an excellent option, but
I just think
I still think he can do better.
Oh, well, it's a thirst quencher. Plus the price point is okay. Right?
Bang for your buck.
That's what happens. Hey, it's been going on for a long time. So when we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. Maybe we'll update the curling, talk a little NFL. Maybe we'll bring in Fenny Fenwick to talk about the Toronto Raptors win last night. I'm sure he was watching last night with bated breath. That's coming up straight ahead on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Get ready for a silly hockey fans. Your partner in power just skated onto the ice.
EWEL.ca, the new e-commerce website for electrical wholesalers Edmonton, is ready for the power play 24/7, 365.
UL skates to where the puck will be in 5 years. Now that's forward thinking.
Killer selection, slamming products from the best brands, and legendary service.
Don't sit on the bench. Get your account today at ewell.ca and win that project.
Plug into your partner in power. Get an EWEL.ca account today.
Hey, sports fans, we've got a clear choice for you. At Crystal Glass, we provide customers with the perfect glass for any job. From home to auto and even commercial, installation or repairs, we're your team. Call 310 Glass or visit crystalglass.ca. Crystal Glass.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado, there's always something new to discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique family-owned independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Bring in the new year with a Canadian country legend. December 31st, in concert at the Silent Ice Center in Nisku. Brett Kissel. She drives me crazy. Multiple CCMA and Juno Award winner, platinum-selling recording artist, and top 10 hitmaker. Celebrate the new year in Alberta, country style. Bring your friends, your cowboy boots, and your party spirit for a night full of hits, celebration, and unforgettable memories. The countdown to 2026 starts with Brett Kissel live on stage. Get your tickets now at silenticecenter.com/events.
Get Black Friday prices now at The Brick. Skip the line and save big. Get 65% off reclining sofas when you buy the matching Love Cedar chair. Plus, get up to 25% off bedroom and dining furniture. And buy more, save more. Get up to an extra $1,000 off select major kitchen appliances. Mattresses are up to 40% off. And with every mattress purchase, you're entered for the chance to win a cruise. Some exclusions apply. See in-store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
This hockey season, before every game, check out the pregame show with Andrew Walker on Sports 1440. It's brought to you by Titan Supply, your only source for rigging, lifting, and hauling products. Visit titansupply.ca.
When your driveway's covered in snow, Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital have you covered.
Toro's gas or battery-powered single-stage power clear snowblowers make it easy to clear right down to the concrete with incredible Toro-powered Propel technology. Face the next snow day without fear, thanks to Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
Hey, you know winter is really freaking cold, right? So play it smart. Don't get caught freezing in your car with your pants down and no power. At Big Toy Shop right now, lead-acid batteries are just $129. $129 is a great price for a good start. Big Toy Shop. Power up and save some bucks at Big Toy Shop, 8315 Argyle Road, 780-298-2797.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 7:45 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, as well as Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. Kevin Karius Show is presented by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. We've got tons of choices on Thursday with the Thanksgiving Thursday day games, afternoon games, night games of football. One on Friday, too. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. Text 833-401-1440. The King of Fort Nasty texting in. Good morning, KK, Duke, and Fenny. The Duke once saved the big Cebolia from an impending tornado. Turns out to be one of those central Alberta dust devils. Is this true, Duke?
No, but I would. If the big Cebolia rung me up, I'd be out there in a jiff to go help him out.
Is that how
I've saved him from many situations, but I don't know how you could twist the Central Alberta Dust Devil into something else, but some nights out on the town, perhaps I've saved the big Cebolia.
How is the big Cebolia doing with his Leafs in last place?
I think he's basically just like preferring to not talk about it. When I saw him last, that was when the Oilers were playing the Hurricanes in the middle of that road trip. We went out there to golf at old Big Chucky Slicks. I asked him about it. He just said, "Yeah, I'm not worried about it."
He's not worried about it?
Well, I think he's worried about it, but he's letting
about
on just like that he doesn't care. He doesn't think the team's good. Like he admits it. He's like, this team is not good, and he's very up in arms about the Marner departure and all that jazz. So.
Well, you can always cheer for the Raptors now in Toronto. The Raptors win 110-99 over Cleveland last night. That's their 8th straight win to improve to 13-5. We had Josh Lewenberg on yesterday discussing where this team is. Let's bring in Fenny Fenwick, where it was a big, this was all Brandon Ingram last night. Was it not there, Josh?
Yeah, no.
37 big ones?
37 big ones. Very impressive. His highest scoring mark as a member of the Raptors thus far. Impressive team defensive effort from everybody.
What about the fact no RJ Barrett?
No RJ Barrett evidently didn't matter. Yeah. The guys step up. They play team-oriented basketball. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of ego with the team. They're just an incredibly fun watch every night because you have no idea who's going to be the top dog that day, because they have 4 guys that can be the top dog, and then they have all their additional pieces who can step up and fill in places where maybe other players are weaker. So it's really fun to watch all the way around.
I'm assuming Jacoby Walter started for RJ Barrett.
That sounds right.
I'm just looking at his minutes. Played 24-24. Picked up 5 points. So, obviously RJ Barrett is a key cog to this team, but, someone comes in and starts, and plays, half the game, I think you got to be pretty happy about that.
Yeah.
Ingram played 37, Barnes 38, Quickly played 33. And again, Ingram had 37, Barnes 18, Quickly had 11.
Barnes 18. Still, like, he's such an anchor to this defense. It's nuts. And the fact that they held Donovan Mitchell, one of the most prolific scorers in the NBA right now, to 17.6 of 20 from the field. Absolutely nuts. That's a guy that you have to focus on because no Darius Garland last night. So they can just focus on just stopping him from scoring and forcing the other guys. Because no disrespect to Evan Mobley or Alonzo Ball, but they can't do what Darius Garland or Donovan Mitchell do. So when one of them's out, it's a lot easier to play the Cavs.
Scotty Barnes had 11 boards as well.
Oh, they crushed them in the boards numbers. I think it was 48 rebounds to 37 or something. 51 rebounds to 37 in favor of the Raptors. Just absolutely crushed them on the boards. They pounded them boards.
Sandro Mamukelashvili.
Mamu. I just call him
I know
Mamu.
you guys do. And I kind
not
of butchered that on purpose. I wanted to see if I could roll it off, but Mamukelashvili.
Yeah, that sounds
pretty
closer.
darn
What
close.
did Lewinberg say yesterday?
Yeah, he's about the same, yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone just calls him Mamu now. But Mamukelashvili. He had 9 boards as well. So
yeah, they just get out there. They crash the boards with 3 guys, and then the other 2 just run and gun. And then if they don't get anything on transition, they have the number 1 half court offense in the NBA. So they're not exactly struggling and getting open looks.
Text 833-401-1440. Marksman goes, we go for quantity over quality for beer up here. I just, after a hockey game, it's going down real fast, real quick, real smooth. And I don't even know if it matters because it's just, you're having one beer in about 5 minutes, if that.
Yeah.
Duke, what do you have? 3 or 4 in 5 minutes?
3 or 4 in 5 minutes. What am I, shotgunning them?
No, Al.
No.
You could.
Like, are we talking after hockey or just in like?
No, after hockey. So you get a real good sweat on. Okay. Let's just say you're at the Critters game. Okay. And we were in Castor. You can have a quick beer while you're.
Well, I usually have one at the intermission.
Had to be.
Duke, you're the only guy that wants to see another flood, so there's another intermission.
I absolutely would like to see that, but I don't get my wish. This is beer league after all. But I don't know. Critters is different because I don't have to drive home afterwards, right? Like I've got the couple hours on the bus, or in the case Castor 2+, so I can lean into it a little bit more. But usually after like a Tropics game, one of the intermission, come back in, and then crack it. Some nights a guy will bring a case and pass it around, but I always bring my own cooler, loaded with what I need, and then a couple extras in case somebody didn't remember any. And I'll have anywhere between usually 2 to 3. Sometimes the last couple of times with the Drake, where there's like a few of us that are long loiterers, and we're just hanging around. And the next game is like the guys are starting to show up, so they're like knocking. They're like, "Is this the right room?" They're like, "Oh yeah, no, come on in. We're just we're slow." So then we've with the weather being as nice as it has been so far this fall, we go out and finish them by the dumpster out that players entrance at the Drake on the main level. You can't go in that door anymore though, which is a real inconvenience. You have to go all the way up the hill through the main entrance and then down the stairs to get in. Unless I've seen teams, they have some sort of messaging system installed within their group's framework that first guy there, he'll come and let everybody in the old entrance door, which is like the players entrance, Bears and Pandas entrance.
Text 833-401-1440. Our buddy Dallas has taken the afternoon off, and he's coming down to the mall here to the water park. It's exciting, Dallas. Blair says, I can't believe KK never heard the rescue story of Jamie Benn and Ben Bishop, a.k.a. the BBW. What, you're not a big sports guy, KK? Maybe I did hear about it, but if it's 6 years ago plus, I don't know. Duke, do you remember it? See, I don't know.
No, I don't. I'm not sure I've heard it. I'm not sure I've heard that story.
I don't know either, to be honest with you. But, I was just looking at their time together, and it was before COVID. And Bruce was right, and he didn't even have the correct year. Wonder what tornado it was. Like, did they, or they just name the hurricanes down there? They don't name the tornadoes, do they?
Do we name tornadoes? Isn't
Sure
it
we
just usually the name of like the area it hits?
Black Friday. I don't know. Coming up at the top of the hour, we're going to talk a little college football and NFL football with Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network. At 8:20, Frank Saravalli from Frankly Hockey and Victory Plus TV. Looking forward to a nice conversation with Brian Propp in the 9 o'clock hour. The former NHLer had a stroke about 10 years ago. Wrote a book just around 2 years ago called Angel on My Wing. It talked about his recovery, rehab, his life in hockey. I mean, he was a hell of a player for a long, long time in the NHL. And if you read the very beginning of the book with all the, they're like tributes at the very beginning from former teammates and guys like Dave Poulin and Dave Brown and Bobby Clark, I believe, writes the epilogue or prologue, whatever is the first one. What are you laughing at, Duke? I couldn't think which one it is. So anyway, the prologue. And anyway, so just so many kind words to a guy that was a really good teammate for a long, long time. Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors will check in at 10 o'clock, and Connor Halley to follow at 10:20. When we come back, Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Nectar.io. Learn more about how we can help your business automate processes, streamline operations, and save money at Nectar.io. Nectar.io, your business made better. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Set of games across the NHL last night. Jersey getting past Detroit 4-3. Rangers topped the Blues 3-2. Philly blanked by Tampa 3-0. Capitals over Columbus 5-1. Florida beating the Preds 8-3. Kings win a tight one over Ottawa 2-1. And Logan Cooley netting a hat trick as the Mammoth top Vegas 5-1. Monday Night Football saw the Niners get 142 scrimmage yards and a touchdown from Christian McCaffrey on road to a 20-9 victory over the Panthers. Bryce Young threw 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy throwing 3 in the turnover-filled affair. On the hardwood, Raptors win their 8th in a row on the back of a season-high 37 points from Brandon Ingram. 110-99 the final over Cleveland. First place Pistons keep rolling with their 13th straight win, a 122-117 win over Indiana. Nikola Jokic going 17-10 and 16 for the triple-double as the Nuggets top Memphis 125-115. And Golden State winners over Utah 134-117. Steph Curry dropping 31 in the victory. Canadian curling trials from Halifax last night. Matt Dunstone beat Brad Gushu in an extra to become the last undefeated team on the men's side of things. Team McEwen beating Alberta's Kevin Couey. Brad Jacobs doubled up the McDonald rank, and John Epping fell to 1-3 in the round robin after losing to Team Clater. Draw 9 underway as we speak. Cameron Laws, Holman Black, Holman Brown, Sturmey Anderson, and Skrillex Black are the matchups. Coming up in hour 2, the Kevin Karius Show will be joined by Julian Edlow from the DraftKings Network and Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin. CKJR is a Stingray radio station.
Download the free radio player app and listen wherever you go.
Across the province, Albertans are taking their shot on Play Alberta. With casino winners every hour, jackpots worth millions, and revenue that stays in the province, there's never been a better time to sign up. Right now, our listeners can score a $50 free bet when they make a minimum $50 deposit with code Gregor50. That's code Gregor50 for a $50 free bet. Start playing with your game sense today to find out if you're Alberta's next winner.
Is your company drowning in paperwork and administrative tasks? Do you need more data to make better decisions? Nectar.io is your company's all-in-one solution for fleet and materials management, safety, time cards, and GIS-based project management. Now is the time to capture and transform field, site, and shop data into boardroom-level business intelligence, all with one login. Visit Nectar.io to book a demo today. Nectar.io, your business made better.
Today on Hey Culligan, how smart is your water? Here's Tracy.
Hey Culligan, I
think my water might be dumb.
Good news, Tracy. Your water's not dumb. It's just not talking to you.
You can make my water talk.
No, but the new Culligan Smart Drinking Water System can talk to your phone to tell you when your water filters need changing and help you meet drinking water goals.
Now that's some brilliant H2O.
You said it, Tracy, and we're already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at culligan.ca.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game.
Go deep!
What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter.
For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter. When you have lifting and material handling needs, Northwest Crane delivers. Western Canada's Sandy dealer, backed by the industry's toughest one. 3 years, 3,000 hours, no compromises. They service all crane makes and models with skilled technicians and deep industry expertise. Alberta owned with locations in Leduc and Grand Prairie and fully equipped service trucks. Northwest Crane keeps your operation lifting. For more information on sales or service, visit northwestcrane.com or call today.
I'm Grant Fedork from Leading Edge Physiotherapy, and sadly some people think orthotics are just glorified shoe cushions. But I've seen a runner drop 8 minutes off her marathon, a grandmother ditch her painkillers, and a 12-year-old nail her long jump, all thanks to custom foot orthotics. So if your feet are screaming for help, flat, high, or funky, that pain's heading to your knees, hips, even your lower back, our professionals will assess you and, if indicated, custom fabricate a pair of orthotics made just for you. Happy feet make a happy person. Feet shouldn't hurt. LeadingEdgePhysio.com.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:01 in Edmonton. Mark Spector off this week. He'll return on Monday, so no on the mark. And we're going to maybe, give Alan Mitchell a little grief here because we've got Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network. So how about the Julian Edlow down? Brought to you by our good friends at Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. It is a November to remember. Save thousands of new owned and pre-owned inventory. Great selection, great people at NorthgateGM.com as we welcome back Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network to the show. Morning, Julian. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
The Ed Lowdown. That's a new one. I have not heard it before. Not too shabby.
Well, we've got Alan Mitchell, the Lowdown with Low Tide from 12 to 2 here on Sports 1440. It's the quickest thing I could come up with, Julian. I hope you're okay with it. So
I'm fine with it. Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah. Hey, let's start with some college football. And, I was thinking with rivalry week, and I don't know, maybe it's just us up here in Canada and the way we look at the rivalry games. It seems to me that we always just defer to Ohio State and Michigan as being the number one rivalry game. And I don't know why it is. That's how I feel. Am I way out in left field on this, Julian? And just a quick thought on what you're going to see from number one Ohio State up against Michigan here.
I mean, there's some other good ones this week. I just think the Ohio State-Michigan game carries the largest storyline with Ohio State's inability to kind of get over the hump against Michigan. And now you're laying 10 on the road. I mean, you're undefeated. The last time you lost was to Michigan. Mm-hmm. They bounced off the Michigan loss, didn't make the Big Ten title game, ran the table in the playoffs, and they're undefeated this season. So, I mean, Ohio State's going to be looking to crush Michigan in this game. We'll see if they can do it, but this one probably has the most personal touch to it, let's say, this week, and I think that's why most people are looking at it as the biggest game. But I mean, there's other big ones. Texas A&M is going to look to go undefeated, and Texas needs a win to, I don't think they can make the playoffs, but a win to just keep that narrative alive that they actually could. Georgia and Alabama are also playing to try and make the SEC title game. So there's some good ones this week, and there are playoff and conference implications still on the line.
Before we get to that Texas A&M and Texas game, I just wanted to maybe touch on this Ohio State game a bit more. And from what we're hearing early on here, it's going to be pretty nasty weather there?
It may be. I mean, it's early in the week. I don't like to put too much stock in weather for a Saturday afternoon kick on a Tuesday. We'll see what happens. The under is certainly getting bet, and the total is moving down. If the weather were to clear up, it could probably get bet back up. But these two defenses are ahead of the offenses for sure. So we'll see Julian's saying we've seen his Heisman odds take a big dip, and I agree with that. He's the quarterback for the number one undefeated team, but has he been putting up big numbers, having Heisman moments? No. We'll see what he can do on offense. The two starting receivers for Ohio State are a little bit dinged up. Didn't even play last week against Rutgers. So we'll see what these offenses look like. And then why I think Ohio State does get over the hump and win this game ultimately is I don't have much belief in Underwood, the freshman quarterback from Michigan. And I think Ohio State's defense is that good. So I think Michigan's really going to struggle to score points. I don't know if Ohio State can win by the double-digit margin or not. Michigan's defense is pretty good, and they're at home. But I do think the key to this game and just picking it outright is going to be Ohio State's defense giving Underwood a really tough time.
Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network, our guest on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. So this Texas A&M tilt with Texas. Now the Aggies a couple of weeks ago, man, you thought that they were going to lose that game to South Carolina, how it played out, but they need a win in Austin here to secure an SEC championship game. What do you make of this one? Because this could be the best one, as you say, on the docket.
Yeah, I don't love it when people handicap a game by saying, I'm not going to get cute, I'm not going to overthink this one, but I'm not getting cute, I'm not overthinking this game. I like Texas A&M minus 130 money line. I just think that's too cheap. I know you look and see, the 11-0 team, why are they so short? That would, tend to raise some red flags. Maybe the sharp side is the short home underdog, and it probably will be. Texas will take some money. Texas is getting bet on the money line. 30% of the bets are on Texas to win the game, but for 45% of the money at DraftKings Sportsbook. So almost a balanced handle there on a 70-30 ticket count. That said, again, I think Texas A&M's defense is really good. Elko's got that defense playing well, and I don't believe we saw Texas put up points against Arkansas. We see them put up points against softer matchups, but when they play good defenses, we just saw them go on the road to Georgia and lose 35-10. I don't believe in Arch Manning and Steve Sarkisian in that offense. So I do think Marcel Reed, dual threat quarterback. Texas has a good defense, and they're going to be playing hard at home. So this is not a cakewalk by any means, but I think A&M's got a really versatile offense with a dual threat quarterback. They can run the ball, they can throw the ball, they can give it to you in different looks. I think they're going to be able to do enough to win this game, and I think Texas is going to struggle offensively. So I do like A&M just on the short price on the money line on Friday night. It's also a little bit of a revenge spot. You remember Texas came in to Kyle Field on the Friday night of Thanksgiving weekend last year, and same rivalry game for A&M, and they lost that one at home. Texas pulled that one out and made the SEC championship game. I think A&M gets a little bit of revenge on the road here.
Where are you at with the over-under here on this one, Julian? I think 51.5 right now.
Yeah, this one is getting bet for points. 94% of the money at DK Sportsbook is on the over in this game. I can't say I have as good of a feel. I feel much stronger about A&M. I understand the total getting bet over, but remember, Texas's defense is far ahead of the offense, and I think A&M defensively is going to give him going to give Arch Manning a really tough time. I could see this one staying a little lower scoring, but it's getting bet over so far at DK Sportsbook, like everyone knows the final score.
Julian Edlow from DraftKings Network, our guest on the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440. Alabama at Auburn, the Iron Bowl. What are your thoughts on this one where I believe Alabama is laying down 6 to start this one on a game at Saturday, 5:30 kickoff?
Yeah, so I bet Alabama to make the playoffs before the season. So I'm going to need them to win this game. They're sitting in the 10 seed. If they lose and go to 9-3, they'll probably be the first team out or so at 9-3, just like they were last season. So Alabama needs to win this game on the road. Auburn had a shaky start versus Mercer last week, but of course, you know they're going to come out at home in the Iron Bowl and look good against Alabama because they always do. So, ticket count wise, this is 84% of the bets Alabama, 16% Auburn, but the money is balanced a little more. It's about 2/3 Bama and 1/3 Auburn. So Auburn is the sharp home dog, we'll say here. I think Alabama ultimately finds a way to squeak this game out. It makes me a little nervous. I would like it a lot more if it was Nick Saban's Alabama teams, but they, after last year and coming undone last year and not getting in at 9-3, I think they can close this 10-2 season out. Again, Auburn, I'm just not all that high on Auburn overall. I think Alabama should be able to find a way to win this game. That said, total wise, significant sharper action, I would say, to the under 47.5. The ticket count is 83% of the bets on the over, 17% on the under. That said, we have more money. 51% of the money is on the under at DK Sportsbook. So much bigger bets coming in on under in this game. Bettors are expecting, sharper bettors will say, are expecting a grinder in Auburn.
I just want to switch over to the NFL with Julian Edlow and DraftKings Network. So on a Thanksgiving Day on a Thursday, how much action do you see increased just on the 3 games on Thursday? And then I guess even the Friday game too here coming up on the holiday.
Oh yeah, they're going to be huge. Awesome college week, but also a monster betting week for NFL. Those Thursday night, Monday night primetime games always do great on their own. Now you got 3 of them scattered throughout the day on a Thursday when everybody's home with family, friends, eating, watching. So yeah, those games are going to have. I don't have the numbers. Those games are going to have monster handle in terms of dollar wagered. And then the Friday as well. It's just another island game. I know it's not a night game. That's an afternoon game on Friday. But people are going to be betting that game. Eagles, Bears, Eagles laying a touchdown at home. All of those games are going to get significant action over the next, 48 hours. And then bettors will just kind of reload and take a look at that Sunday board.
Yeah, and the word that we get up here that the Chiefs-Cowboys game is going to be the most watched regular season game maybe ever. Do you think the handle will match that one?
Yeah, that's going to be a huge bet game. I mean, Cowboys games go bonkers anyway, and you got both teams coming off late fourth quarter comeback wins. You got Mahomes trying to get the Chiefs into the playoffs after a tough start to the season. You have the Cowboys kind of rallying a little bit now with a couple of wins off the bye, seeing if they can squeak into the playoffs. It's going to be a very heavily bet game. I'm curious to see. Next time we chat, I guess I'll get back to you on that and get the numbers. But that is going to be a monster bet game for sure. And bettors are trusting the Cowboys so far. It's a 60-40 ticket count in favor of the Cowboys. But 83% of the money taking the 3.5 points with the home underdog Cowboys, kind of like they were against the Eagles on Sunday. Looked like they were dead in the water, and then they pull out the outright win.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost a mirror image when you think about the two. Are you leaning one way or the other on Dallas or KC here, Julian?
I think this is a tougher game. What I will say, we have 44% of the bets for 56% of the handle on the under 52.5. I know overs in Dallas have been a thing. Going back to last year and early this season. We just saw Philly and Dallas play to an under in overtime on Sunday. Now you got these teams on short rest. It's a huge team for both games. Dallas's defense is getting a little better. I like Kansas City's defense. Kansas City's offense, not as explosive as years past. 52 is a pretty big total here for a short week, big afternoon game for both teams. I would, rather than picking a side, and I guess I would ultimately say Mahomes finds a way to squeak it out, and bettors are going that way. You know, the money spread-wise is Dallas. 75% of the money is on Kansas City on the money line. But if you made me pick the game, you said, here's a couple bucks, you got to make a bet on this game, side, total, whatever, I'd probably go under 52.5.
Wow. And you touched on the Bears and Eagles on the Friday, and this one's going to get a fair bit of action as well. You like one way or the other here, and what'd you say, it was 7 that the Eagles are laying?
Yeah, Philly laying 7. Bettors are trusting the Bears. About 70% of the money is on the Bears. This Bears team, this is just an eyeball test, a gut feeling. What are they, 8-3 now? Is that their record?
Yep, 8-3. Both teams 8-3.
Yeah. The Bears are not a real 8-3 team. I can't figure out how they keep getting it done, but they keep getting it done. It feels like it's going to come undone for some point with the Bears. And if the Bears were to make the playoffs, I would love to have the ability to wager some money against them in a playoff game. But starting with this week, I think the Eagles will be, kind of a staple of my 2-team money line parlay, 2-team teasers, 6-point NFL teasers, maybe a double result on Philly, which means to lead the game at halftime and win outright so that you're not laying points. I'll have some pieces of the Eagles to win that game at home on the short week. Coming off a bad loss, Eagles defense has been playing really well. You remember the 2 weeks before losing to Dallas, they pretty much shut down the Packers and the Lions offenses on back-to-back weeks. So I think they're going to be able to, at home on a short week, coming off a loss, be able to shut down Caleb Williams in that offense, and the Eagles will find a way to win that game.
Hey, Julian, thanks so much for your time, as always, here on Sports 1440. Really appreciate you coming on. Enjoy a plethora of games across the docket, college and NFL, for the next week or so. Really, thanks a lot for coming on, and have a wonderful Thanksgiving, too. Take care.
Yeah, appreciate you guys having me. We'll do it again soon.
You betcha. That's Julian Edlow. DraftKings Network has some great tips and looking where, it's such a neat thing to, when you're looking at 3-4 days away and, okay, the money's going here, then the over-under, people are pushing to the over, or they're going under. It's just a neat way to look at things, for sure. That was On the Down and Low with Julian Edlow, DraftKings Network. Brought to you by, powered by Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. This truck's for you. When we come back, Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. It's on the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Tired of the same old holiday tunes? Spice things up with the sound of a Wilhauk beef jerky bag being torn open. It's the carol that everyone wants to hear, promising a chorus of tender, perfectly spiced beef jerky. This holiday season, make sure you're Wilhauking around the Christmas tree with Alberta's best beef jerky. Call to place your pre-order today at 780-986-2537.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Top quality flooring, locally owned, and Canadian products from Beaulieu. Yeah, that's CFI.
CFI what?
No, CFI, Custom Floors, Inc.
From free estimate to professional installation, contact Custom Floors Inc. at customfloorsinc.ca.
Hold up. Are you pulling my beard? Booster Juice has 2 new booster balls for the holidays this year.
That's right, Santa. The Eggnog Booster Ball and Caramel Pecan Pie Booster Ball are 2 new flavors to put some extra jingle in your step. So are you a pie guy, Santa, or a nog guy?
Both!
Good call. That's extra jolly. Happy holidays from your friends at Booster Juice. Canadian born, blending since 1999.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
Legacy Heating and Cooling jingle auditions take one for Gene Principe. Are you ready, Gene?
Ready? I'm not just here to make a thermo a couple of bucks. I'd never just microphone it in.
Take one.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
Nice.
Boom! I'm a musical genius.
Legacy's going to love this for furnace season.
What's not to love with no interest and no Principe payments for 1 year?
Are you always like this?
Yep, unlike a furnace, I have no filter.
Legacy Heating and Cooling.
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton sports fans, stay informed
with Sports 1440. Stream us.
Listen to us on the AM dial.
However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st annual Kinsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you treat me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building, we're elevating, we're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Get in on the action with hockey. Bet on the original at sportselect.com. 100% legal. Must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Stories, guests, and insights. This is Sports 1440 and the Kevin Karius Show.
All right, welcome back to the big program, 8:21 in Edmonton. Time now for the headliner of the day, brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing. Getting snakes deep and giving 110% day in and day out. For all your plumbing needs, go to mrrooter.ca as we welcome in Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV. Good morning, Frank. How's it going today, big guy?
Pretty good. How you doing, Kevin?
Good, good. Are you getting all ready for Thanksgiving?
Favorite day of the year, favorite holiday.
Well, we were talking about that earlier. You know, we had Bruce Levine on from Dallas Stars analyst. He says on Thanksgiving morning, him and about 50 guys get together at one of the Dallas Stars Dr. Pepper rinks down in Big D and have a little skate and sit out in the parking lot and crush a few beers before everyone zips back to their families. How cool would that be?
Yeah, a lot of guys do something like that. Some of them do it on Christmas Eve as well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually meet up with a few buddies over at our golf course. If I can, if the weather holds up, I'll play a few holes, and then there's usually a little bourbon tasting before you tell your wife you're going out to pick up supplies, right? I'm going to get sides and whatever else necessary, plates, forks, not whatever it is that you need. You're shopping, and meanwhile you're catching up before the holiday.
She doesn't still believe that story after all these years, does she?
I mean, I'm pretty sure when I get home, she can smell the truth.
Yeah,
so,
I would think
I don't know that there's any, like, no one's pulling the wool over anyone's eyes here.
I don't think so, Frank. That's for sure. Hey, so many things to kind of go through today after last night. And maybe I just wanted to start with Zach Werenski. And here's a guy that, we saw the Oilers play twice in 3-4 days, and he played like 30 minutes each game. Gets an injury last night. How serious is this injury, or is it just something to be more cautious than maybe more serious?
Yeah, look, I know everyone's kind of holding their breath this morning, trying to understand the severity here. Team USA included, because we're at that time of year now as the calendar's turning to December that these injuries are piling up for the Americans in a big way ahead of the Olympics. And so I think that's definitely top of mind. Obviously, the Jackets, you mentioned the minutes he plays, the workload, the production. I mean, he's shouldering so much at both ends of the ice for the Blue Jackets any period of time that this guy is missing, and you're talking about a material harm to their season and chances.
So what's the level of concern for, Billy Garrett and the Olympic hockey program? Because there's a half dozen guys here that are on the shelf here that are going to be on this team, you would think.
Yeah, and it's not just volume, it's impact, right? Brady Tkachuk is likely to make his return to the lineup for the Sens on Friday, so that's one down. Matthew Tkachuk is starting skating and probably closer to Christmas in terms of a return. That's another. Austin Matthews could be back for the Leafs this week. And go through the list. I mean, Charlie McAvoy, mouth surgery, Jack Hughes falls on a piece of glass. I mean, it's endless. These aren't just guys. These are huge pieces of this roster. And so they're dropping. I mean, Connor Hellebuck, I didn't even mention surgery. It's endless for Team USA at this point, and definitely a concern.
Frank Saravalli with us from Victory Plus TV on Sports 1440. The Nashville Predators are quite likely the worst team in the league right now. What do you make of what's going on in Nashville? And then Barry Trotz kind of flew off the handle last night as well.
Well, he flew off the handle a couple days ago saying he needs bleeping more from his players. And I think they answered how they feel about Barry Trotz saying that he needs more 11 seconds into last night's game. 1 goal against.
Yeah.
8 goals against. I mean, the Nashville Predators are a sad, sad hockey team. And I mentioned a few weeks ago how toxic that environment is. Watching the general manager lash out on a team that he built, on missteps that he made putting this roster together, going from, hey, we're rebuilding, we're in a 3 to 5 year plan, to all of a sudden they go on a 15-game run, make the playoffs one year, and trick themselves into thinking that they should be launched into Stanley Cup contenders. Let's sign Steven Stamkos. Let's sign Jonathan Marchessault. Let's sign UC Saros to a massive 8-year extension. Let's sign Roman Josi and all these guys. And you end up in real short order after a disastrous season last year with a team that's swirling at the bottom of the standings, can't score, can't get out of their own way, don't like the GM or the coach. And, oh, by the way, they're all approaching their mid-30s and under contract for a while.
Can they get out of any of these contracts without taking money and holding money back?
I mean, they can. Just how painful do you want the decisions to be? By the way, a lot of them have control and say in what happens next, which is a really important reminder. So you may want to, let's say you want to really open things up. Let's get wild, okay? Let's go crazy and say, Philip Forsberg, we'd consider moving you. Well, he holds the cards, right? He's going to tell you which teams he's interested in going to, if any. Maybe he says, I don't want to move. So I think they're in a really precarious position. And I think the longer this goes on and festers, it's not Andrew Brunette whose job is on the line. It's going to be Barry Trotz.
Mm-hmm. The situation isn't much better in Calgary. Frank, you had some comments just regarding...
Way better in Calgary.
Pardon me?
It's way better in Calgary.
Well,
at least they've got young players on the way. They've got a franchise goalie. They've got a number 1 defenseman in Zane Parekh, I believe.
I don't think he's a number 1 defenseman.
Okay. I do. I think he needs some time.
They got 3 more points than Nashville, Frank.
The Flames aren't trying to be good now. The Preds are. That's the difference. But the difference is the Preds are trying to win. They've signed players they've built to try and win. The Flames are not. That's the key distinction.
So you don't think the Calgary Flames are trying to win?
No, I think they entered last year and the year prior with a very clear and distinct plan when you traded away all those guys from their roster. Lindholm, Zadorov, Kachuk, like when all those guys left, it was the changing of the guard. The thought process and very open and clear plan for the Calgary Flames has been, we want to be good in 2027 when our building opens. They're not trying to, they'd like to be more competitive, but they're not under any guise that they're playing for a Stanley Cup. The Nashville Predators signed those guys thinking, hey, we're going to chase a cup. We were a playoff team. We're going to be a cup contending team. That's the key difference, key distinction.
I get what you're saying, Frank, but I just don't look at it like a team like Calgary and a team that has players like that. So then you're going to say that they're going to move Kadri out? They're going to move Rasmussen out?
Yeah, I do think they're going to move. Rasmus Anderson's days are numbered.
Anderson, for me, yeah.
Rasmus Anderson, for certain, he is being traded this season.
What about Kadri?
I think the offers are going to be significant enough that they have to. So I don't think they entered this season thinking that they were going to move him, but I think they're going to not have a choice. Okay. So, yeah, they're in a totally different scenario and situation than the Preds.
Here in
what
Edmonton,
do the Preds have coming, by the way? What's in their pipeline? It's relatively limited. You got Matthew Wood, who's here now.
Mm-hmm.
After that, it gets relatively thin in a hurry. Tanner Molendyk, you could get excited about. That's kind of it.
Here in Edmonton, Frank, hearing anything, is it one of these times where, okay, they had a 5-game road trip, had a 7-game road trip. Now they're just sort of, as I said, this is a team that's like many others that have been treading water right now. What do you see anything foreseeable in the near future? Does this team do anything, or do they just wait for a little while longer here?
So they've survived what was a difficult schedule. And I'm not making any excuses because I don't think any should be made. They have not played anywhere near well enough. And I believe their goaltending is on the clock. I think they've got until Christmas, a month from now, to figure it out and display some signs of improvement and or confidence. And if not, I think Stan Bowman's going to have little choice but to make a move to trade for a goalie, because this team is not in a position where they can allow a season with this core to fall by the wayside due to inactivity and inaction. Mm-hmm. And the Colorado Avalanche are the poster child for action. 1 year ago at this time, they had 2 different goalies, Justus Annunen and Alexander Georgiev. Today, they wake up with the best goaltending in the NHL, statistically. Oof. Wedgwood has been fantastic. Blackwood is in a spot where, his game is trending in the right direction. And they stepped up. They did the courageous thing, which is our tandem isn't good enough. We're going to become the first team in NHL history to trade out both guys in our tandem by Christmas. No one has ever done that in the league before. And they did it. And now they're reaping the reward of, we're not going to sit on our ass and tell everyone how hard it is to do something.
Do you have Wedgwood at number 4 on the Canadian Olympic team for goalies?
I have him at 3.
3?
If what you say is true, if you are Doug Armstrong and you address your group at the Olympic orientation camp and you say, play well and we'll find you, Scott Wedgwood wasn't even there.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't on the radar. I don't know how you can argue with his numbers so far this season. They're near flawless. And he has proven that he can play well with a great team in front of him. Your plan isn't to use Scott Wedgwood as your number 1 goalie in the tournament, but you don't think he could be the number 3?
Who do you have at 1 and 2 then?
I have, in some varying order, Jordan Binnington and Logan Thompson.
So you have Kemper on the outside looking in.
Right now I do.
Hmm.
And yes, Kemper has won a Stanley Cup, and he's been a good goalie. I just think if you're truly going on merit based on this first quarter of the season, I don't know how you can leave off Wedgwood.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Frank, I got to tell you, thanks for getting me Brian Prop's number. He's going to come on at 9:00 today with us.
Awesome.
Yeah. And
Guffaw himself.
yeah, you know where that started from?
I vaguely know the story, but it definitely is one of the NHL's strangest goal celebration traditions that's ever existed.
I think that it was with like Howie Mandel from America's Got Talent.
Okay. Deal or no deal?
Yeah. And I think what happened was, Frank, that the two of them met years and years ago, and Howie Mandel used to do something to the effect of when he was on stage and he did this certain guffaw, as it was called, and then Brian Prop sort of just borrowed it from him, and that's how it went from there.
But it was very odd that he took his hand out of his glove and did the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, it was sort of, I mean, later, wouldn't you say like Yager's salute sort of thing? That was another one that came out.
But it, like the salute, at least you can understand, like, hey, you're going to take my hand out of the glove and salute. But like I'm trying to do it like on camera, like the thing, like it was a whole, I don't know. It was interesting. And yeah. I'll tell you what, I know that you guys know each other going back to the 70s, but like he has a pretty unbelievable career that no one really talks about anymore. And I know it's in a high scoring era, but 1,000 points in just over 1,000 games, he was pretty damn good.
And a hell of a playoff performer too. Like his numbers are right on the, they're the borderline Hockey Hall of Fame. They are, because he's got better numbers than a lot of guys that are in there right now.
I agree. And yeah, you're right. The playoff numbers in how many trips to the final did he have?
5. And then you think about it, how many, like, how many?
Just doing the math. 80, 85, 87, 90, and 91. Did he have 5 trips to the final?
91 with Minnesota, yeah.
91 with Minnesota, but also 90 with Boston.
Yeah. And even going back.
How many times did he play the Oilers in the final?
Well, Flyers in Boston, that's the whole thing. He played 160 playoff games, Frank, had 148 points, 64 goals. So, like, he was a playoff performer. And, the Canada Cups are there too. So, I don't know.
Unfortunately, I think he's going to reside in the Hall of Very Good. And what a sad, it's just a shame that he doesn't, to get to the final that many times. So you lost to Wayne Gretzky 3 times and Mario Lemieux the 4th. The 5th. No, you lost to Gretzky 4 times, right?
Not on the 90 team. So Gretzky 3 times, then in the 90 team, Gretz was gone.
Yeah, so 3 to Gretzky and 1 to Lemieux. I mean,
and 1 to Messier.
Yeah, he lost to the Goats.
So
that's a tough one.
And I mean, in those playoff, if you look at his playoff stats those years, I mean, he's at the very top of the list of NHL scoring too. So appreciate you getting that number for me, Frank, and looking forward to that interview. We'll have you on tomorrow because you're going to be off Thursday for Thanksgiving.
Well, you know where I'm going to be Thursday morning, so I can't possibly join you. Now the secret's out. Just don't tell my wife. Frank.
She knows already, Frank.
I know. But some things are just better left unsaid,
Yeah. She knows already. That cognac on the breath.
Yeah. We'll see what we can cook up for Thursday morning. It's looking a little cold for golf, but I will be there in the parking lot nonetheless.
Okay. Good stuff, Frank. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks, man.
See you, Kevin.
Frank Saravalli from Victory Plus TV, and our headliner of the day brought to you by Mr. Rooter Plumbing, the true goat of local plumbing. That's mrrooter.ca. Yeah, Duke, you ripped it off before I could get it out of my mouth with Brian Prop. Yeah, I mean, all the Stanley Cup finals.
Yeah, five Cup final appearances. Unfortunately for Brian, no victories. But as Frank pointed out, you look at the teams he lost to, 3 Gretzky teams, the other Oilers team in 90, which, I mean, still had a pretty good collection of players on it, if we recall. And then, Lemieux in 91. So
you had in that year, he had 23 points in 23 games. The 87 series, that's the Ronnie Hextall, Conn Smythe. He had 28 points in 26 games in the playoffs. I mean, that series is as close. I mean, the Oilers, you never hear about like that went 7 games and it was an empty net goal. Well, no, actually, no. The Glenn Anderson goal from the blue line, right? That's the goal that really iced it, I think. And you always think, okay, well, the Oilers steamrolled everybody, but that series was as close as it gets. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. 833-401-1440. At the Canadian curling trials, Skrillex and Black are playing the 10th end, tied at 5. This is a big game for both. I believe, another loss here on either side, and you're pretty well on the outside looking in. But we'll update that as well when we come back. It's Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Mr. Rooter watches the big game. Go deep! What you watching, Mr. Rooter?
The Plumbing Olympics. Frankie Drain Dragon Sanchez is attempting to break the world record in the 100-meter snake. Watch! Wow! Did you see that? He snaked out a 50-pound clog. And in the middle of that wad, a gold medal. What theater?
Yeah, that's very cool, Mr. Rooter. For a plumber who's good as gold, call Mr. Rooter.
The future of female hockey is here. It's season 2 of the Female Super League, the first ever female-only independent hockey division in Western Canada, with teams from British Columbia, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and Manitoba. Featuring 16U, 14U, and 12U divisions, the FSL brings showcase weekends packed with thrilling games, and our 14U and 16U have been pioneering the advanced body checking rule, empowering young players. The Female Super League, where the best in female hockey takes center ice. Details at femalesuperleague.com.
Wing Wednesday at First Round. Whether you're coming for the first round, the last round, or a few rounds in between, they've got you covered. With half-price wings every Wednesday night. Half-price wings. Over 35 delicious flavors like Cajun salt and pepper, maple bacon, and Inferno wings. Now half price every Wednesday night. Wash them down with a cold pint of Canadian or Coors Light for only $5.75. Half price Wing Wednesdays at First Round in West End and now downtown. First Round, burgers, beer, sports.
Local sports on weekends. Saturday mornings at 9. Check out the Saturday Sports Setup, where we'll tee up what's happening on the weekend sports scene. Tune in Saturday morning at 9 on Sports 1440.
Across rural Alberta, volunteers and community groups work hard to make life better for their neighbors, creating new playgrounds, better rinks, and gathering places that bring us together. Vision Credit Union is proud to lend these local heroes a helping hand. Apply today for a Helping Hand grant up to $10,000 to support your community's next big idea. Let's make great things happen together. Applications are open until January 31st, 2026. Learn more at whatsyourshare.ca.
Winter snow and ice are nothing to fear when the Lawnmower Hospital's in your corner. Keep pathways clear of snow with the Echo PB770T backpack blower. Or go even bigger with the huge PB9010T. Right now, buy select commercial walk-behind BCS sweepers and get the Echo PB9010T for free. The Lawnmower Hospital has pet-safe, plant-safe ice melt, too. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
A veteran of the Edmonton sports scene for over 3 decades, the Kevin Karius Show, powered by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 8:43 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440, and the show is presented by our title sponsor, Sports Select. And it's so easy to play. Just generate a QR code. Go on the website, sportselect.com. It's 100% legal. You got to be 18 plus. Please play responsibly. There's the step-by-step videos and guidance to generate that QR code. It is simple. So, Duke, what happened last night, I guess, for our bet was 7.5, and it looked very much like there was going to be a cover.
Panthers were in the mix, but no, they couldn't get it done. I'm going to blame the refs. That PI call.
The PI call. The
PI
lack
call
of PI.
that led to the missed PI call.
PI
that
call.
led to the second Bryce Young interception. Bad missed call. Clearly impacted the outcome of the game. And so that I'm putting an asterisk beside that one on our spreadsheet here that game's under protest.
Under protest? Come on now. So
no,
what
that
did we
was
go for the week then? We had a push.
You pushed. I won 2. You won 1.
So you got one back.
Yeah,
you got one back. Now, let's be honest here, Duke. We have to it's Thanksgiving. So we're going to go pretty hard here, are we?
Yeah, I think probably all 3 games for Thursday.
All 3 games Thursday. We got to do Friday.
Then we can do the Sunday night or Monday nighter.
Sunday night and Monday night.
And maybe that's enough. We don't need Eddie to pick any games because we got the Thanksgiving games.
Eddie just makes a mess of it anyway.
Yeah.
And we got Monday night is the Giants Patriots, Sunday night Broncos Commanders. So those are
and you're up first for Thanksgiving.
Well, those lines on Sunday and Monday night are going to be tilted quite. They're going to be 7+, no?
Oh yeah, I would think so. Let's see what they're at. Let's see what they're at right now. Play a little game of whose line is it anyway.
And you're on the Mighty Sports Select.
I am. Yeah, Denver 6.5.
Oh, really?
On the road, and Patriots 7.5 at home.
Really? Okay.
Against the Commies.
And while you got it up, if you got it up, you might as well go down. And we did this with Julian Edlow, but you might as well run down the Thursday and Friday.
Yeah. So for Thanksgiving Thursday, Lions favored at 3 by 3, at home over the Packers. Chiefs 3.5 on the road in Dallas, and the Ravens 7 points at home against the Bengals. Joe Burrow will be under center. Jamar Chase back in the lineup. Wonder if the Bengals could be live there. The Ravens did not look good on Sunday against the Jets. They won, and they won pretty easily, but they did not look like the same Ravens that have kind of been on the come up again here, chasing down that division.
And then Bears-Eagles on the Friday.
7, yeah.
7. You know what? I'm probably, with the first pick, I might be leaning towards that Dallas game, but I'm not sure.
Really?
Well, I just, again, all the Dallas, they seem to, and it's 3.5. I mean, maybe they lose by 3. It's a field goal game. Again.
Yeah.
So they're either going to win by 3 or they're going to lose by 3.
Wow, look at this, Kev. Coming down right to it.
Skurlik and Black.
Final rock. I think they're doing a measurement.
Well, they got 2 more rocks left, right? So
oh, my bad.
Skurlik's got a hammer.
I
Black
thought that was last draw.
You think Skurlik's sitting 1?
I think Red's sitting 1 here, just.
It's hard to say.
I do believe that your point differential does matter
in
the case of tiebreakers because there's a rule that they have to play a certain number of ends, even in lopsided affairs. I think it's minimum you have to play 7.
You know, how about Frank Cervalli? Come on, Frank. Wake up, Frank. Frank just sends a post out. Good news. Blue Jackets believe Zach Werenski will be in the lineup for Wednesday's game against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Left last night's game with an upper body injury, did not return.
Just holding that out on us was Frank.
He knew the whole time, did he? No, of course he
maybe he just got that text right when he hopped off with us.
He would have got it right away.
Probably.
Well, he's probably, that's the first thing. Hey, I better check in with whoever in Columbus and things like that. So looks like Zach. And again, if you look at the 6-7 guys that we're talking about for the U.S. Olympic team, I mean, Werenski's, you think about their blue line. I mean, I don't know if he's top pairing, but
I thought in those 2 games that Columbus played against Edmonton a couple weeks ago, I was blown away. Like
How good he is?
we know Zach Werenski is good, right? Like this is documented. He's been excellent for this team. A couple injuries have plagued him along the way, but I thought in those 2 games in particular, he looks to be on a different level this season. I was really, really impressed with him.
So again, if he's not in the first pairing, he's in the second pairing.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, depending on who, you had, do you go back to last year when you had Faber and Slavin because they were so good together?
I kind of think you have to. And listen, Slavin's hurt. So there's some question marks. Like, do not be mistaken. And I know this seems like a bit of a retread because we talked about it so much going into the Four Nations face-off, but like this is a very good American group. And the forwards, I think that they have a lot of skill, and then obviously the intangible stuff with guys like the Kachucks and whatever, but they are sort of inexperienced, at least at that level, right? Because the forwards are a lot younger for the most part.
Yeah.
But that defense is unbelievably good. The guys they can roll out just one after the other. I think it would probably be the best in the tournament.
And they have the edge in goaltending.
For sure they do. And listen, Hellebuck, he exercised some demons with playing better in the second round of the playoffs last year, but it's still not, I'm sure it still looms pretty large in a lot of Americans' minds that his track record in big games is not very sterling.
Dallas texted, I missed that college football interview. You said you were going to, maybe the wrong word there, Dallas, but my other area of expertise, he says. Oh, yeah. Besides Oilers goaltending. Yeah, Dallas sends in a lot about the Oilers goaltending. He can find that interview coming up top of the hour or 10 o'clock, Duke. What are we looking at?
Yeah, it'll be up just
Julian
after
Edlow,
9.
DraftKings Network. Triple C in a truck text in. Duke, we need some Jimmy Cliff. Rest in peace, reggae music legend. 81 years old. Passed away on Sunday, or was it yesterday? I'm not sure. One of the two. You know anything about Jimmy Cliff, Duke?
I can say that I've never heard of him before.
Okay. He was a reggae legend. I'm sure Fenny Fenwick knows all about it. The Rig says, will the Americans be able to play their game on the big ice? Well, Rig, the ice surface will be the same. It is not Olympic size this year. Hopefully they can get the rink done in time. But this is NHL-sized ice surface in Italy. So doesn't matter. This is, and if you've got, there aren't a lot of players playing in Europe that are on the big clubs. There's the odd one, but like if you've got a Germany or something like that, there are players, that are playing overseas right now in Europe that are playing on the big ice surface. But now this Olympics will be on NHL ice surface. So, and the Rig, that's a lot of people, they weren't too sure about all of that. Black wins over Skurlik. Pick up one or something in the 10th. I didn't see it, Penny. Did you watch it?
Looks like she must have stole.
Stole?
Yeah, it was a big steal at the end.
So, Skurlik had the hammer. I didn't see the shot. Oh,
so
man.
I'm sure we'll get a replay here momentarily.
And you know what? And that's again. So Skurlik drops to 2 and 3. So she's trying to double here, I'm pretty sure. Or off double.
Yeah, trying to run it in.
Yeah.
Not quite enough.
Just a bad angle. So anyway. Cam Tixon, it's all about Team Canada. The U.S. stinks. Why are you stroking them? I'm not stroking them, Cam. We're just talking about the fact that they are, it's most people are hoping for a Canada-U.S. final. I think that's pretty well a given because of the rivalry. Cam says, I know I'm just bugging you, big guy. I'm just bugging you. Hilarious that after the rink delays, Northside Lou says it's 4 feet short. Well, maybe because if they made it Olympic ice surface, they wouldn't be ready in time. I don't know. Oil Commander. Good morning, gents. Not sure of your opinion on UC Saros, but I keep arguing with more than a few people that he's not the answer for the Oilers. With his long-term contract and the money he makes, it just doesn't make sense. It's an albatross of a contract. Well, Oil Commander, I've been on your side regarding Saros since day one, saying that this has not been a fit. Can't see it ever happening. because of that contract. I just don't feel that the upgrade is there for what you're going to be looking at. I think it's just more to show a little patience here, see what happens. I mean, if you look at the whole season for Stu Skinner, save percentage is down. Okay. Goals against is right at 3, but it's been getting better. He's been pretty good. He was good in Florida. He was good on the trip, really. I think there's for what's out there, for what is out there. And we have beaten this subject to death, have we not? For what is out there and what fits with this team, how they have constructed the roster. There's just not a whole hell of a lot out there. I mean, and Frank can talk about Colorado. They caught lightning in a bottle there, man. I mean, if anyone else thought that Scott Wedgwood was going to be doing what he's doing, would you have not gone out and signed him to even a longer-term contract with more money if you thought this? It's like the old Detroit Red Wings thing with Pavel Datsyuk. If we would have known he was going to be this good, I don't think we'd have drafted him in the 10th, 11th round or whatever it was. Hey, when we come back, top of the hour, we got Brian Propp, former NHLer, 1,000-point man in the league. He'll guest with us at 9 bells. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by Loca Quality Market. It's not your average grocery store. We're a butcher, a baker, a cafe, a deli, rotisserie, a pizzeria, all under one roof. Shop local at loca.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Seven games across the NHL last night. Jersey getting past Detroit 4-3. The Rangers topped the Blues 3-2. Philly blanked by Tampa 3-0. Capitals over Columbus 5-1. Florida running over the Preds 8-3. Kings win a tight one over Ottawa 2-1. And Logan Cooley scoring a hat trick as the Mammoth top Vegas 5-1. Monday Night Football saw the Niners get 142 scrimmage yards and a touchdown from Christian McCaffrey en route to a 20-9 victory over the Panthers. Bryce Young throwing 2 interceptions. Brock Purdy throwing 3 in what was a turnover-filled affair. On the hardwood, Raptors win their 8th in a row on the back of a season-high 37 points from Brandon Ingram. 110-99 the final over Cleveland. The first-place Pistons keep rolling with their 13th straight win, a 122-117 victory over Indiana. Nikola Jokic going 17, 10, and 16 for the triple-double. Nuggets beat Memphis 125-115, and Golden State winners over Utah 134-117. Steph Curry dropping 31 in the victory. From the Canadian Olympic curling trials in Halifax last night, Matt Dunstone beat Brad Gushu in an extra to become the last undefeated team on the men's side. Team McEwen beating Alberta's Kevin Cooey. Brad Jacobs doubled up the McDonald rink, and John Epping fell to 1-3 in the round robin after losing to Team Clater. Draw 9 just wrapping up on the women's side of the schedule. Caitlin Laws and Kate Cameron just finished. Rachel Holman beating Team Brown. Carrie Anderson defeating Alberta's Selena Sturmey, and just finished the feature matchup. Nova Scotia's own Christina Black beating Alberta's Kayla Skrillex. Coming up in hour 3 of the Kevin Karius Show, we'll be joined by former NHLer Brian Propp, and we'll check in with a new edition of In or Out. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
This is Sports 1440, a Stingray radio station broadcasting on Treaty 6 territory.
Download the free iHeartRadio app and listen to CKJR wherever you go.
Stories are told to make a point, and GS Construction takes them very seriously. We're not talking about fairy tales. GS Construction looks at the story old pipes tell us, a tale of time and pressure and endurance. So when those old pipes are ready to end their story, GS Construction starts a new chapter by repairing or rebuilding, or in some cases, renewing the underground infrastructure that supports our modern lives, making sure every community's story continues on safely and reliably. For more, visit gsconstruction.ca.
Weekly NFL giveaways, drink specials, huge screen TVs. The hits keep coming at First Round, Edmonton's NFL headquarters. Watch NFL football at First Round, and you could win a trip to your favorite NFL city for a regular season game next season. Catch NFL action Thursday nights, all day Sunday, starting with the Pro Bowl brunch from 10:30 to 2. Then Monday night with half-price boneless wings after 6 p.m. First Round, burgers, beer, sports. Downtown and Bourbon Street, West Edmonton Mall.
Sports 1440 is proud to support the Camrose Kinsman Radio Auction. Tune in Friday from 6 p.m. to midnight, live from the Bailey Theater on our sister station, New Country 98.1. All proceeds go to the Kinsman Club of Camrose to serve the community's greatest needs. For more, visit sports1440.ca.
I'm getting McDonald's. You want anything?
Oh, yeah. I'll get I'm obviously going to get the McVeggie, medium fries and a medium fountain drink for $9.99. It's my favorite meal and it's new. Plus, if I get that, maybe he'll want it too. And then he'll always thank me for introducing him to the McVeggie. I'll be a hero.
So, McVeggie fries and drink?
How'd you know?
You were thinking out loud again. Get yourself a McVeggie meal for just $9.99 plus tax for a limited time only at participating McDonald's restaurants.
Hey everybody, it's Gene Principe and Jason Strudler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
This Friday, 6 p.m. till midnight, don't miss the 71st Annual Kingsman Radio Auction. The Kinsman Club of Camrose invites you to join the fun and support their largest fundraiser of the year. Bid on a huge selection of items donated by generous local businesses. All proceeds will help the Kinsmen serve our community's greatest needs. The Kinsman Radio Auction. For details, find them on Facebook. You can also join the bidding in person this Friday night at the Bailey Theater on Main Street, Camrose. Details on Facebook.
Every morning, you look in the mirror and see less of yourself. Hair loss can feel like losing a part of who you are.
But it doesn't have to be that way. Hi, I'm Dr. Vance Elliott. At Advanced Hair and Skin Surgery, we understand the pain of hair loss. Our advanced hair restoration solutions won't just bring back your hair, they'll help you face the mirror with confidence.
Good morning, you sexy beast.
Visit drvanceelliott.com today because it's time to be the man you remember.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:01 in Edmonton time now for the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. If you're thinking about swapping your tires, it's that time of the season, and Fountain Tire's got up to 15% off select tires right now. It's a great time to make the switch or grab a new set before the rush hits. Check them out at fountaintire.com. As we welcome in former NHLer Brian Propp to the show. Morning, Brian. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 this morning. Really appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure.
So first and foremost, Brian, just with your health, how are you right now? How you feeling? How you doing? Because after what happened to you 10 years ago with your stroke, where are you at right now, Brian?
Well, I'm doing pretty well because after my stroke 10 years ago, like I couldn't even talk. It took me a couple of months to talk, and so I've done a lot of different things to make me much better. But that was 10 years ago, and so I'm happy to be alive. Like I should have died like 10 years ago, but I pulled in, and still happy to be alive, and just giving back. But my health is pretty good. You know, like I haven't. The only thing that I have is my right fingers on the right side don't work, so I can't golf as well as I did before, and I can't shoot the puck as well as I did before, but the goalies I play with aren't that good, so I can still score and do like a foul.
That's good stuff. You know, how did you get through everything, Brian? When you had the stroke and the support and the rehab and everything, what helped you get through it?
Well, my faith, because my dad was a Lutheran minister. I grew up in a little town called Newdorf outside of Melville. My dad was a Lutheran minister. He preached in English and German every Sunday. And so that's where I got my faith from. And then, of course, he taught me how to play hockey. And, when I played for the Melville Millionaires when I was 15, I broke all the scoring there. And so I tell people I was a millionaire once.
Well, that's where I first saw you, because I'm from Melville, as you know, Brian. And, I hung around the rink with my dad, Orv, all the time, who you knew back in the day, and Jerry James. And the guy that I obviously liked you as a player when I was a young guy, but my favorite player was Kelly Dean. What do you remember about playing with him? What a playmaker he was.
Yeah, he was, and Dwayne Tweeper was good too. But he was a good playmaker, and of course with Jerry James being the coach, like he was ahead of the time, because he played hockey and football, so he learned how the plays, and so we had to memorize the plays, like going out of the playoff and everything like that. So he was ahead of the way, and then plus we did some weight training. Like we used military belts,
the weight belts, yes.
Weights on them, and so and then we had to run on the ice and around the building, and so it was just a good way to get started. But yeah, he was ahead of his time at that time. But playing with Kelly was awesome, and then we had Stokes was there, and of course Larry Mazer, and a couple of the older guys. But yeah, it was really fun for me, because I had to drive 20 miles from Neudorf, and I didn't have my driver's license, and so my parents always had to take me, and we had to meet halfway through the bus trips in Kalali, and there's no cell numbers, and so you just had to pray that you picked up.
Oh, good stuff. Brian Propp with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. So you had a book out about 2 years ago, Brian, Angel on My Wing, and you talked about, it's your life story, and it gets through everything with what happened 10 years ago with your stroke. And you mentioned your dad, and that's where I wanted to go back, being a Lutheran minister. I was reading the book last night, and the time that you stole, what was it, a chocolate bar, and you got in a little bit of trouble for that. Could you share that story?
Yeah. So we didn't make that much money. I delivered newspapers, and so I made $2 every month or a week to deliver newspaper, and so we didn't have much money. My allowance was 5 cents a week, and so you did what you had to. But I stole a chocolate bar. And it's a little town of 300, so you're going to know everybody. And so I got caught, and then my dad got me, and I got him in trouble for that. And then I had to go back and apologize and pay him back.
There's so many great stories in the book, Angel on My Wing. What kind of inspired you to write it, and what was your message that you were trying to get out with it, Brian?
Yeah, so I wrote the book with Wayne Fish, a writer from Philadelphia, from when I first started, and so I've been friends from him for a lot of years, and so it took us 2 years to write it. I did a year to do all the recordings, and another 11 minutes to edit it, and so it's been open the last year, but it just means talking a little bit about. I didn't really want to do a hockey story, but after my stroke, it kind of made sense to kind of combine the two. But it's more about people that have strokes and brain injuries, and how I can help them with my book, and things that I've done to make them better, and never give up hope, and just talk with them all the time, just to give them hope, and to do rehab, because as an athlete you have to rehab, and we're kind of used to that, and so that kind of really helped me with getting better.
Brian Propp with us on the Kevin Carey Show on Sports 1440. You also mentioned in the book all the support that you had from the Flyers organization to help you get through everything. Can you maybe just touch on that, Brian?
Yeah, I know, I was after my stroke, like I couldn't talk or walk, so it took a long time just to get better. But and they kept it quiet. But of course, Ed Snyder really helped me at that time because I didn't make that much money, and so he gave me some money just to kind of get by, and I'll never forget that. And also like with my boss at the time was Jason Wolf from Wolf Commercial Real Estate in Marlton, and he continued to pay me even though I was gone for like 6 months, and so that really helped too. So just the little things like that that I'll never forget, like the people that helped me. But the Flyers alumni have such a good group of guys, and so they supported me a lot too. And I'm still on the Flyers board of alumni board, and so I still stay connected with a lot of them and know what's everybody's doing.
And you also, it's not just your name, but you help organize many golf tournaments, many other charity events that helped, with the brain injury and the stroke foundations that are down in the States. How much does that mean to you? Because you guys have raised a lot of money, but even more so awareness as well, Brian.
Yeah. So like the last 3 years, I've had the golf tournament at River Winds Golf Course in one of Ron Jaworski's golf clubs in New Jersey, and so it's a day after Mother's Day, and so I have the group set up, and I had some sponsors, and so it really helps support the University of Penn Stroke Center University, and so and every week, like every year, like a day after Mother's Day, May 11th, it'll be today. I set up a golf tournament and raise funds for that, and I have a charity hockey event that I do every year for either cancer or might change it to military this year, and just it helps people that need the help to support this charities that I have, and for my hockey, I use like 6 former alumni, split up the 2 teams and make it a fun time, and everybody benefits from it, and it helps a lot of other people.
Excellent stuff. Brian Propp with us on Sports 1440. Let's talk a little bit about your career and start with the celebration, which was known as the Guffaw, and that's your handle on Twitter and email and everything like that. And you sort of got that from another Canadian. Can you explain that?
Yeah. So in the 80s, Howie Mandel had a lot of his shows in Atlantic City. And so he went to, I heard about his shows. And so I decided, hey, listen, I'd like to go as a guest. And so what I did is I went to one of his shows, and I really liked how he handled himself. And then, and he did a thing called the Guffaw, which means a hearty laughter. Like it was one of his things that he did in one of his shows. And so I decided to copy him. When I scored a goal, I went to center ice, and I raised my hand and did Guffaw. And then at that time, Keenan was a coach, and he said, "Don't ever do that again." And I was like, "Oh." So I didn't listen to him, but it took off after that. So I trademarked at my Guffaw cigars and the Guffaw. So it all took off from there.
How on earth did you ever get into the cigars, Brian?
Well, I always liked a good cigar when I played golf in Canada, and as you know, in Edmonton, they have Cuban cigars, and so they're much better. And so 8 years ago, I went with my son Jackson and Ken Dunnick, a former Eagle, and we went to the Dominican Republic and checked out a couple of factories and see how they're made and aged and made together. And so after that, I decided to make my own Guffaw brand, and I started with 425 boxes of 10 of my limited edition. And so when they sold okay, then I decided to make a mild, a medium, and a Maduro 6-inch cigar. But they're quality cigars from the Dominican Republic and the distributors in Chicago. So it just, I was and I stopped drinking like 9 years ago, and so like it's for healthy for me. But the only thing that I have is have a cigar every once in a while.
And you can get them out of Chicago. Is that how it works, or do they sell them in Philly too, or Tampa? I know you're in Florida a lot of the time too.
Well, they can get they can ship them to Canada, but gaffacigars.com if they want to check it out. Like it might be a little more expensive in Canada to ship, but they just have to call me and then see. I'm just redoing my website because the guy that was running it, he passed away. He was from Regina, and now his son's taking over the business. So in another week, probably the site will be much better on Sapphire. And so like that way, if people want to just order from the website, then like in another week, then it'll make it much easier because they have credit cards and shipping.
Right. Brian Propp with us on Sports 1440. So your career, when you went to Brandon, you guys, you couldn't have more of a powerhouse team than you had for a couple of years there with Ray Allison and Brad McCrimmon, and Dunk McCallum was the head coach. The one year, I don't know if you lost, I think 5 games. How good were those teams, Brian?
Oh, they were so powerful because Dunk McCallum did a really good job, like 3 years. But I remember my first year, we only lost 12 games, and then we only lost 8, and then 5 my last years. But Brad McCrimmon and Ray Allison, we were there like the 3 years, and then Laurie Boschman and Semenkin and Glenn Hanlon, and so a lot of really good players, and Bill Derlago. So we had powerful teams, but the coaching was really good. But we had we were so powerful on the West, and so like it was, but it was kind of fun because we didn't lose much, and so like and then of course I got drafted by the Philadelphia Flyers, 14th overall. And it continued from there.
So when you got to Philly, what were you thinking? Did you think right away, because you had darn near 200 points in Brandon the year before? Did you think, okay, I can make this step? Or what was your thought process back then as a pretty young guy yet?
Like I figured, because I didn't really follow hockey, but Rick Knickel, like he kind of figured everything that was going on. But my last year, like I knew I was going to be a good player, and so I finally got drafted. But that was the year that the NHL merged into the NHL only. It used to be the World Hockey Association, and so like there's no bargaining. So you took what you made. Like my first 3 years, I made 50, 55, and 60,000, and I lived in $1,000 a budget a month, and so still had to work on the farm, to make some extra money. But it was good. I got drafted 14th, but I knew the Flyers. But I was really quiet and then naive. And it took me a couple of years, but that year we had the 35 undefeated streak and went to the finals against the Islanders. And so it's a nice way to get started. And then, I just really quiet, and I just did the scoring and did what I had to be a consistent player. And, a couple of years after that, we lost in the first round against the Rangers. And so I learned much earlier when I had to play much better in the first round of the playoffs. And so I continued to do that. And, that's when I was in 5 Stanley Cup finals.
So those 5 Stanley Cup finals, 1980, your first year, 85, 87, and 90, those 3 against the Oilers, you always had that, that connection to the Oilers. And what do you recall about those series? And I would imagine 87, you guys were so darn close to winning that series. And with Ron Hextall in goal, maybe just touch on that, Brian.
Yeah, that was probably the best series that I had. I played because we were down 3-1, and I remember Game 5 in Edmonton. I had 4 assists, and we won 4-3. And then, of course, in Game 6, with a minute left, like 6 minutes left in the third period, I scored to tie the game 2-2, and then J.J. Daniel scored like three minutes later to force a Game 7. And then you never know. You have game 7, you never know what's going to happen. And we won, we scored the first goal, but Edmonton was so powerful, and Ron Hextall played out of his mind. And then, of course, Tim Kerr was out, and then Dave Poulin was broken ribs, and Ilko. We were so banged up, but it was, I think the people in Philadelphia remember our effort, just to never giving up and giving us a chance to finally win a Stanley Cup.
Yeah, and again, you guys were so close. And what about the Boston? When you got to Boston, and now you look at a situation where Wayne Gretzky's not with the Oilers, but the Bruins are a good team too. It just, again, there's such a powerhouse team that the Oilers had that you were up against all the time.
Well, especially Boston, like it was, I had a hand injury, a hole in my artery. I missed 27 games that year at the end of the 90, and then I finally got to play it, and then so Bob Clark decided to trade me, which helped me a lot because Dave Poulin got traded in January, and then I got it in March. I just got traded, but they were number 1 in the league that year against Boston. So, and I played with Neely and the center iceman. So it was a nice bonus for me to be a part of the teams. And then, of course, we went into the finals again, and then we lost the first game in triple overtime because the lights went out, and it was triple overtime, and Klima didn't get on the ice and scored to win, and that really made a difference with the series, because the first round, if you win the first game, it makes a big difference, and you from behind, and of course Edmonton had the experience, and so they know how to win, and so it just we were kind of like from behind and couldn't catch up. And Ramthard played unbelievable too.
Conn Smythe for sure, yeah. I mean, you must have thought when Klima finally got on the ice, well, what the heck's this guy going to do? He hasn't, the story was he hadn't played for 2 hours.
Yeah, I know. Well, but that's the way it goes. And then of course with Minnesota the next year, it was just lost against Pittsburgh, but Mario kind of took over the last couple of games at that series too. I guess in the '87 Canada Cup, I played with Gretzky and Lemieux most of the time on the same line, and so I knew both of them, but I hated to lose against those guys.
Yeah. Was the '87 Canada Cup, would that been your highlight, I guess, Brian?
Yeah, it's one of them because at that time the Russians still were had to defect, and then it wasn't until 1990 when they could get drafted, and so it was really different at that time. But at that year, we had such a good team and fast. It was sort of like the Olympics that are now. They're much faster and good players, but it was a 3-game series, and it was something that I'll never forget. We lost the first one 6-5, and then the second game in double overtime, I was on the ice with Gretzky and Lemieux, and we won that game. And then, of course, everybody remembers 6-5 score with a minute left, and Lemieux scoring at that time. But it was in Canada, and so it made it special for me, and being in Canada to be a really big part of that. So I won the gold that year, and then I won the Spangler Cup in '92. So I knew at least I was on the winning side a couple times.
NHL totals, they are beyond impressive. I don't have to run the stats down for you, Brian, but I will to our listeners. 1,016 games played, 425 goals, 1,003 points. I think the playoff numbers are equally, if not more impressive, with 160 games played in the playoffs, 64 goals, and 148 points. When you hear those numbers, what memories flood back for you, and what do you think about all that you accomplished?
Yeah, at that time, I know that I played a lot of years in the playoffs. I was 13 years consistently in the playoffs, and so but you still have to perform in the playoffs, and that's so. When I was, my first year, I was a rookie, and then after that, I learned to be a better playoff player when it counted. And so of course, losing 5 times in the Stanley Cup Finals. A lot of players don't even play in a playoff game, and much less win a series, and so it's really tough. But I remember that I was consistent. I played with good players, and it made a difference. And so it's a team game. And so even though I lost 5 Stanley Cup Finals, but I was number 1 all time left wing scorers until last year when Marchand just kind of beat me. So I'm number 2 all time in the left wing scoring of the history of the game. But he played another 20 more games than me, and of course Ovechkin is 1 point behind me, and he played one other game, but he'll probably break my record again when he gets in the playoffs, and so I'll be number 3 all the time in left wing scoring. But I'm proud of my accomplishments, especially in Canada, where the playoffs make a big difference, because all these guys that can play as 20, 25 years now, because they don't get hurt, and they have all these points, but they never win anything.
Well, the numbers are Hall of Fame numbers, Brian, and I know you've been asked this many times, and your response in the book when I was reading, you kind of had that, you never know, with 3 or 4 little dots after it. So just maybe a thought on that.
Yeah. So but I'm happy to be, like I said, alive after my stroke, where I should have died 10 years ago, but I'm still fighting, and I know that the guys are behind me, like Bernie Pront just passed away a couple of months ago, and so we just went to an event with him in Philadelphia, and he was really close with me. And so seeing all these guys passing away, it makes you preaching it just to be alive. And I've done everything in my life that I want. I'm just happy and enjoying life, and enjoying it. So it's all these awards that I have. Who cares? I give them most to my nephews and nieces, and awards, and so it's just. Happy to be alive, and if I finally get into the Hall of Fame, that would be nice. If I don't, I'm not worrying about it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Brian, thanks so much for doing this. Really appreciate it. Continued health for you. Enjoy Thanksgiving with friends, family. And thank you very much for spending some time with us up here in Edmonton. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin. And if anybody wants it, they can go to my brianprop.com website. There's a lot of information about that, everything else that I'm doing too.
Yeah, the book and the cigars, everything's on there.
Yeah.
Perfect. I think I got to order some cigars, Brian, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, just call me.
Thanks a lot. Take care, Brian.
Okay.
That's Brian Prop, former NHLer, and again, 1,016 games played, 1,003 points. He's a point-a-game guy. The numbers in the playoffs are unbelievable as well when you think about the amount of playoff games. And you heard him say, Brad Marchand is, so as a left winger, just eclipsed Brian Prop's mark for points by a left winger. Simply amazing. And I wanted to thank Frank Saravalli for helping facilitate that interview as well. That is the Puck Report, brought to you by Fountain Tire. And again, it is tire changeover time. Check them out at fountaintire.com. When we come back, we'll get to a couple of your texts, a quick little segment before we go in or out with the Duke. And that's just ahead of Ryan Holt from the Bakersfield Condors, play-by-play man at 10 o'clock, and then the con man, Connor Halley, at 10:20. It's the Kevin Carey Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Looking for the perfect gift? Give the gift of great taste with a Loca Quality Market gift card. Redeemable at any Loca Quality Market or Loca operated restaurant. It's a treat for food lovers. Ready anytime. Grab yours today at loca.ca.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
At Sherwood Honda, SUV must stand for Sell Us Vehicles. Because if you have an SUV, Sherwood Honda sure would love to buy it. Any make, any model. If you're driving an SUV that's in good shape and yours to sell, you should turn around and head to Sherwood Honda for a really good price. And if you're not driving an SUV, that's okay. Sherwood Honda sure would still be happy to sell you a vehicle too.
Watch out. They're back.
I don't know why you treat me like the worst moving company in the region.
Get ready for a new season of the homegrown Crave original, The Office Movers.
All right, should we roll?
The hilarious hit series from creators Jay and Trey Richards.
We're building. We're elevating. We're moving up. New space, new contract.
You guys need to go. The client is freaking out.
Where is the elevator?
It's busted.
The Office Movers. New season. Stream now. Only on Crave. Proudly Canadian. Subscribe at crave.ca.
Miss golf during the off-season? Of course you do. So head to the Leduc Golf Club and try their state-of-the-art golf simulators. Perfect your swing. Enjoy delicious food and beverages and even book a lesson with one of the Leduc Golf Club pros. Whether you're a seasoned golfer or just starting, the Leduc Golf Club simulators offer a great way to keep your game sharp any time of the year. Call or visit the Leduc Golf Club today to book your spot and swing into action all year round.
Portions of this hour brought to you by Sports Select. Playing Sports Select is easy. Visit sportselect.com and generate a QR code or check their how to play videos for step-by-step guidance. Sportselect.com, 100% legal, must be 18 plus. Please play responsibly.
Have your sports curiosity cured with the Kevin Karius Show. This is Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 9:31 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you on Sports 1440. Josh Fenwick running the board here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, X, everywhere. I mean, I love doing those interviews, Duke. The one thing I will say, I mean, those numbers are amazing. The playoff numbers are, off the charts when you think about all time. It's so much harder to get into the Hockey Hall of Fame than it was. And I mean, there are guys that have way less numbers than that are in the Hall of Fame. You can talk about all the guys that are around 1,000 points. I mean, look how long it took Alex McGillney to get in, Duke? And that's a long time. I don't know. Do you think that like a guy like that with those numbers, is that maybe down the road somehow?
Well, we always talk about like
I mean,
some of these guys that exist on the fringe and have been passed over X number of times. Like, oh, well, you never know. Maybe, a year with a weak class. It's like, well, do we really expect to see very many weak classes in terms of Hall of Fame inductions? Like, look at the level the game is at right now. And guys that are coming up in first years of eligibility now are exceptional. And obviously, like, I'm right there with you, Kev. When you look at Brian Propp's numbers, to me, it's insane that he's not in the playoff numbers, the playoff accomplishments, the international success with the Canada Cup. He played in a couple World Championships as well. And it's like, I would love to see him in, but at this stage,
I don't know if it ever happens.
I don't think it. I don't see it happening. Unfortunately, I wonder if maybe down the line, and I don't know how far down the line we'd have to get with this. Is that if we see the NHL or the Hockey Hall of Fame, implement a similar type of class to
veterans category.
what the NFL does, or the Pro Football Hall of Fame, with the they call it like the senior class induction, where you've got all your newly eligible guys and players that have been on the list for whatever 10, 15 years, and then you also induct a couple guys from a previous generation of the game.
I'm just going to check one guy, and I don't know if he's in the Hall of Fame, to be honest with you.
Adam Oates?
No, shut up. So I'm looking at a guy that is okay. Here's a similar player. I mean, numbers wise, and this guy was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1982. I'm not going to give you his name. He played 1,065 games, so relatively the same. He's got 1,021 points, roughly the same. And he was inducted in 82. That's Rod Gilbert. Played for the Rangers. I mean, I mean, I can guarantee, and I haven't even looked at Rod Gilbert's playoff numbers. They can't even be close to what Brian Propp's are. Tack on the Canada Cup. Again, it's hard, so much harder now to make the Hockey Hall of Fame compared to what it was back in 82 here. The numbers are identical, almost identical.
Well, and you say numbers as in statistics, but it is a numbers game in the sense that the number of eligible players continues to go up essentially exponentially, right? The pool only gets bigger every year. That's right. all of a sudden, a guy that has only been retired, only been eligible for 3 years, but has kind of been left on the outside looking in, is much more top of mind than a guy that's been sitting on the shelf for 30. In this hypothetical situation of a weak class year. You say, we got one spot left. All right, well, let's look at some guys that maybe have been passed over.
Yeah.
And you're looking back, all right, well, this guy, he's been sitting here for 3 years. He's got a strong case. That I think takes a lot of precedence just because of it is more top of mind than a guy like Brian Propp, who has been retired for 30 plus years here.
Yeah. When we come back, let's check in for a little edition of In or Out. How's that sound? With the Duke of Delburne. That's coming up right after the break on the Kevin Karius Show, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Hi, Mike here from Northgate Chevrolet Buick GMC. Snow, colder weather, shorter days. November is officially here. But it doesn't all have to be bad news. If you're thinking about a new or used vehicle, now is the time. Massive savings, 0% financing, and don't forget tires at cost. Yes, that's right. We sell winter tires at cost. There's lots to celebrate in November. And as always, we'd like to thank all of those who have fought and served for our country. Stop in and see us today, 13215 97th Street, or visit us online at northgategm.com.
You're in Northgate country.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
60 years ago, we started selling trucks as Western GMC Buick. Today, we are Wolf GMC Buick. We're still located on the corner of 184th Street and Stony Plain Road with the same ownership for over 2 decades. Our customers have trusted our family-owned, community-driven business, and for that, we are thankful. If you're looking for a truck or SUV, pop in and one of our seasoned professionals will get you a great deal, hassle-free. Come trust our team at Wolf GMC Buick. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy.
Legacy Heating and Cooling is the only place to call for heating your home. So when it's time to replace your old furnace,
Call Legacy.
or for 24-hour repair with no overtime rates. Legacy even heats your shower with hot water tank.
Call Legacy. Call Legacy.
And with no interest and no payments for 1 year, it could only be Legacy Heating and Cooling.
This is
It's Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
Do you work for a company that wants to reach people who love sports? Or maybe you're looking to hire people who love sports. Sports 1440 partners with dozens of local businesses, connecting with tens of thousands of Edmonton sports fans every day. On the radio, on the listening apps, on YouTube, and on social media. Contact our sales team today to see what Sports 1440 can do for you. Email Gregor at sports1440.ca to get started.
It's the most festive sale of the season, the Big Bin Sale at Metal Supermarkets. December 1st through 6th, they're clearing out everything in the off-cut bins at 30% off. A wide assortment of miscellaneous metal, 30% off. And remember, metal makes a great stocking stuffer, right, kids? Now go build your dad a nice shelf for the garage. The Big Bin Sale starts December 1st at Metal Supermarkets, the convenience stores for Southside, West End, metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey everybody, it's Chief Principe and Jason Stredler. Join us on a 7-night cruise through the Mexican Riviera, leaving from Los Angeles and including Cabo, Mazatlan, Puerto Vallarta, and more. While we relax and cruise the tropical waters and have some drinks with umbrellas in them, you could attend an intimate meet and greet with legends like Bill Ranford, Jason Strudwick, Kelly Buchberger, Ron Lowe, Jack Michaels, Louis DeBrusque, and more. Don't miss out on every hockey fan's dream cruise, the Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise. It's going to be one hell of a trip. Price start at just $23.99. Part of the proceeds support the Ben Stelter Foundation and Kids with Cancer.
The Edmonton Hockey Legends Cruise, July 2026. Visit cast.tours/Edmonton or call 1-833-347-7678. Book now and save $500 per cabin when you mention promo code Stingray Radio. That's cast.tours/Edmonton.
This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440, a proud presentation of Sports Select.
In store or online at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 940 in Edmonton. Text rolling in 833-401-1440. Darren says, hey, KK, was that not the theme song to ITV News back in the day? That was the break before. I can't recall what it was, Duke.
It was Tom Cochran, White Hot.
White Hot. I don't know why he's getting ITV theme song memories. I don't know. Back in the day with Gord Stanky and Linda Steele. Who knows what it was? Time now, though, for Are You In or Out?
Okay, you know what? Moving too fast. Bottom line, are you in or you out?
In or out of what?
No time for questions, just action. In or out?
Well, then I'm out.
I'm sorry, Jet. Actually, you're already in.
Are you in or are you out?
On Sports 1440.
I thought you would go, I'm in, Bob. We would have had a really cool moment, but you kind of ruined the whole thing.
All right, Duke. Let her buck.
Edmonton Oilers back at home tonight. Feels like it's been forever, but they take on the Dallas Stars from Rogers Place. Lone game on the NHL schedule. Dallas will be without the likes of Thomas Harley, Ilya Lyubushkin, Matt Duchene, and Mikko Rantanen. First three out to injury. Rantanen serving his automatic one-game suspension for back-to-back game misconduct hits. The Oilers have been fortunate to find their opponents in the state they have been at this stage of the Oilers' schedule. Let's rewind a little bit,
Tampa?
if we must, to Tampa Bay, missing
Chernak?
3 of its top 6 defensemen. It's
Hedman?
arguably its top 3 defensemen.
McDonough,
Hedman, and
Chernak?
Chernak all out. The Panthers, we know how decimated they are. And then it was kind of a surprise. Aaron Ekblad did not play in the game That came down on the day of. And now here, Dallas also banged up, but admittedly, Dallas faring a little bit better with its absentees than those previous two teams had been at that point.
Well, I'll have to be in on this one. I mean, anytime that you have several of your key players out of the lineup, I mean, just think if the Oilers were missing 3-4 guys, people would be going, wow, the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be in. Fortunate, if you want to call it that. Every team has injuries over the course of the year.
Correct.
And you can talk about, even, for the Oilers with Nugent Hopkins out and, for that matter, Hyman's been out for the bulk of the year. So every team has them. So again, you can say it's fortunate, whatever you want to call it. The fact that they are playing the Dallas Stars without several of their key components, you have to take advantage of it, though. That's the whole
key.
thing.
That is the key
thing.
And I think the important. I'm not just saying like the Oilers are lucky, right? That's not what I'm trying to get across here, because they did play much better in those Tampa and Florida games. They earned the overtime point for sure, and then the victory Saturday in Sunrise. But keep in mind, these are the last two games, first of which back to back on the road, and not like it wasn't back to back Florida Tampa. It was DC down to Tampa, and then the last game of this road trip. Now first game back at home. Like, this is a tough spot for the team in terms of the amount of hockey they've played in the past couple of weeks. I think that really leans into this for me about the fortuitousness for the Oilers. But like you said, Kev, they got to take advantage here.
Absolutely.
Stars are still playing well.
You got just the one game here. I know the one game after a long road trip, it's always red flags. But now you got several days off after this one. You know you're going to be off. You know you're going to be rested, recouped for Saturday. So just gut this one out. Somehow you got to find a way to win against an upper echelon opponent tonight.
They gotta go full triumph out there.
Lay it on the
line. They got to lay it on the line.
Have to lay it on
they
the line,
simply have to
lay it on the line.
I'd have to play that Eddie clip here to inspire the Oilers here before the show's done for the day. To the West, several insiders, including our good friend Frank Saravalli, Craig Button, reporting that it is open season in Vancouver. Memos being sent out around the league that they are very open to trading away veteran players on their roster, and a couple enticing names. But to me, there is one primary target, and it's not a bona fide top six ad. It's not a top pairing defenseman. Kiefer Sherwood will be the number one target out of Vancouver for circling teams.
I'm going to be out and I'll say Elias Pettersson. No, just could you imagine trying to unload that?
I'll be honest, Kev. I understand all the qualms around Pettersson. He's not an $11.6 million player, has not played like one for several years now. If they could find someone to take it, that is, like, if I was another team and depending on where I'm at as a franchise, that is a bet I might be willing to take.
So what are you going to eat, though, on that? But this is another topic here. He's locked in at 11.6 till 2032, Duke. I mean,
that is a long time.
Just nuts. So
we know the cap's going up.
Maybe down the road.
Like in another year or two. But
he's obviously got no movement.
I just I get it. The production has to be better. He does, you can't pay a defensive centerman $11.6 million. It's just not realistic. But man, we saw it a few years ago when he signed the deal. Like, this was a guy playing at like an MVP caliber level. Was it a flash in the pan, or is he just going through the motions for an extended period of time here? Like I said, if I was another team, depending where I'm at, I might be interested.
I mean, I'll probably go in on this one with Sherwood because of the price tag. He's 1.5.
Yeah.
He's at UFA next year. So that
it'd be as cheap of a rental as it comes.
All the sense. But, if you're Vancouver, this is one of the few guys that delivers an honest effort every night.
For sure.
Those are the guys you want to keep. I don't know how they can, or what kind of price tag he'd be looking at next year. As a trading partner right now, you would think as a rental player, I don't think it would be a sign in trade, because now you're looking at, I think he's going to command $4 million at least.
Scored 19 goals last year, already has 12 this season.
Maybe $5 million. I don't know. So he's going
and a guy that, so he can be a middle six contributor offensively.
Man, he just gets involved.
And by the way, he just set a record last year in the NHL for hits in a season.
The only other guy, and he's got a no movement clause, is Tyler Myers, Duke.
This was kind of second on my list, I think.
Because right shot, big defensemen are hard to come by. Having said that, he's got another year left at $3 million. So that would be the only other guy that would.
But $3 million for a bottom pairing defenseman that can play in your second pair if called upon, I think that's a price tag that would still keep a lot of teams interested. And listen, at 35 years old, he's not the same guy he was. But what can't you teach? What doesn't diminish with age? Size, reach. He's always been a very good skater for a man of his size. I still think that's a good element to his game, even if it's not quite at a previous stage. Is Myers a name that the Oilers could potentially kick tires on to shore up the bottom end of their defense group? I think they'd be interested.
Is that something you might be interested in?
I think that's something I'd be very interested in, Kevin. Switching gears over to the hardcore Toronto Raptors, rattling off their 8th straight win last night. They beat a good team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, to do so. They continue to sit second in the Eastern Conference behind only the red-hot Detroit Pistons, no pun intended there. With the wide-open nature of the East this season, we're, approaching the quarter mark of the season or right around it. They've exceeded expectations to this stage, I think is very fair to say. GM Bobby Webster, I would like him to see him be very aggressive out on the trade market just because could be anybody's year.
Well, for sure. That's a question we asked Josh Lowenberg yesterday, and he was, quite forthcoming in saying that he never believed, I don't think many NBA insiders believed, and maybe for that matter, maybe no one within the organization believed that they would be this fast-tracked to success this season. Now, having said that, they've had some games where they've played terrible opponents. Last night's a good indication in my mind to beat Cleveland. So there's still a ways to go here, but that core group is there. They need some size, grab a little depth. I'm all in on Bobby Webster being very aggressive in the next couple of months here.
And this might be a question better posed to someone like our good friend Fenny Fenwick over here, or Declan in-house, or of course our friend Paul Serber. Like, what areas would they look to address in an aggressive trade market? Is it another like top tier scorer? Is it just depth pieces? Because you can make a splash and make your team better without going out and getting the oft injured Anthony Davis or something, as we talked about yesterday with Josh Lewenberg. But man, like, just look around the NBA, and I understand whoever does end up coming out of the West does seem very well poised to mop the floor with an Eastern opponent in the NBA Finals come June. But hey, you give yourself a best of 7, anything can happen. And right now, the Raptors look to have as good a chance as anybody to be the Eastern Conference's representative.
Comment there, Fenny?
Need a stretch 5.
Okay.
For sure, because Jakob Poeltl can't stretch the floor. He's strictly a rim guy. But if you can find a two-way center, I think that's really what can set this team over the edge. They have enough ball handlers. They have enough defenders. Maybe if you can get a defender off the bench, maybe a Marcus Smart or something like that. If you can take him from the Lakers, not the guy he once was, but 1 year, get him to buy in.
I still like the youth they got. Like Dix Young.
They're in such a great spot.
Murray Boyles is young, obviously.
Oh yeah, their first round pick this year.
How about this one, Josh, from Steve? I'm no LeBron fan, but would the Raptors want him?
Sure.
Bring him to the 6.
Yeah, why not? LeBronto for real.
I think that'd be hilarious.
Dude, wouldn't that be so funny? He beats up on the Raptors every year of his Cavaliers tenure, and then ends up finishing his career with them. No, he's going to end his career as a Cleveland Cavalier, but stretch 5.
Does that happen in season or?
Oh yeah. Deck and I are all in on the in-season trade for LeBron to the Cavs.
Does Bronny go with him?
Bronny has to go with him.
Right.
It's his son. That being said, the price tag is now a lot higher. So they're giving up 2 major pieces on the Cavs end to get LeBron James and Bronny James Jr.
Just finished watching this morning's draw at the Canadian Olympic Curling Trials in Nova Scotia. The hometown representative on the women's side, Christina Black, with a big win over Alberta's Kayla Skrlik. The field shaping up here as we get into the second half of the week. There'll be some semifinal action, and it's a best of 3, Kevin, in case you or maybe some others weren't aware for how the playoffs end up over the weekend. Semifinals on Thursday, and then game 1's Friday, game 2 Saturday, and a game 3 if necessary on Sunday for the men's and women's final. So fun, unique setup. Simple prediction. I know there's already games well played. Some teams at the top of the table looking dominant, but I think it's going to be Brad Gushue heading back to Italy and the nearly undefeatable Homan Empire, Rachel Homan's rink, coming out of the women's side. They're both going to be headed to Milan wearing the maple leaf.
I am so out on this one.
I know you are.
So out because already I've picked Dunsey, my buddy Dunsey, the sheriff, Dunstone. I think he's going to win. And then I'm going to go Carrie Einerson. 4-0 so far.
5-0.
Oh, 5-0. Pardon me.
won
Yeah,
this
the win
morning.
today. Yeah, 5-0. So I will go Einerson and Dunstone. Those are my two winners.
I mean, I think those are the other two obvious choices. Dunstone, the lone 4-0 team, big win over Gushue last night in the evening draw. So I think that could serve as a lot of confidence, taking down the legend, the icon that is Brad Gushue. You know, one of maybe, depending how his final season goes, the best to ever do it in the game. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday about the different storylines you can approach to Gushue's last year. Plays in his final Brier on home soil in Newfoundland, or goes back to kind of where it all started at the big stage for him in Italy. I just think Gushue in a final, I'll take him over Dunstone, even if
Gushue's dead to me,
once.
Duke. He's dead
Ever
to
since
me.
he
bailed on this program twice, and he's dead to me.
Twice?
Yeah.
He only no-showed us once.
Oh, no. Well, okay. He no-showed once, and then he didn't respond for a whole day of texting.
Yeah.
That's a no-show in my
But
books.
let's think about it this way, Kev. And you're a very connected man. You're Kevin Karius. I'm
Let's
sure
be
you could
honest, yeah.
facilitate things regardless. But we could have direct lines to the champions if my prediction comes correct.
That's fair.
Then
I'll figure out something with
our
Dunsey.
chances of getting the Olympic representatives on the show are much higher.
Yeah.
If it's
Well,
Holman
we know
and
Jeff
Gushue.
Walker will come on.
Oh, well, you could probably ring up Walks right now and
now.
he'd hop on.
Yeah.
They're probably
figure out-
doing their dynamic warm-ups here for the next game. But he'd be game no matter what. He's that kind of guy.
I think this is Dunsey's time.
I think it's priming up to be a great final. And as a result, it's the best of three for me, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think Ainers in one game, anything can happen. Yeah. But in a best of three for the Olympic berth, I'll take the Homan and the Gushue tried and trueness.
That's a Texas death match of best of three.
Looking
man.
forward to it. Should be a great event as the week continues and over into the weekend. Finally, I'm sure this is something you'll be very interested in, Kevin. It's National Book Week.
Can't imagine.
You're a very well-read man, a scholar.
I read my first book last night, Duke, in about.
And was it Brian's book?
Brian's book, yeah. Angel on My Wing. I skipped a couple of chapters, but I read it for the most part in its entirety.
Surprised you didn't go audiobook.
I thought about
and
it.
just listen to it while you're out doing your winter garlic and whatever else is going on in the backyard.
I thought about it, man.
It is National Book Week, and I'm actually changing what I have written down.
Oh,
my original statement was the best book that gets read in schools is Lord of the Flies. I'm actually going to change it because I forgot one as I sent it, and it's actually one of my favorite books that I've ever read.
Mm-hmm.
I'm changing it to Kill a Mockingbird.
That's pretty serious stuff, Duke.
School's serious stuff, man. It's important for young people to take in information that's represented in those books.
What grade would that be?
To Kill a Mockingbird, I want to say was grade
10.
Okay. Lord of the Flies was grade 8.
Okay. Well, I've never read Lord of the Flies.
Really?
No.
That's an old book.
I'm going back even further.
Oh boy.
I'm going to go back to like elementary school.
Oh God.
But I think for
when the books had more pictures in them, they were more your speed.
There were some diagrams in these ones.
Okay.
And it's a book that I think every young hockey player should read.
Rebel Pride.
No.
Oh.
It was a I think it's a trilogy, or it might be 4. It was Scrubs on Skates.
Really?
And these are books.
Who wrote that?
Well, obviously you know who Neil Young is, right?
Mm-hmm.
His dad wrote them.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
And these are books from a long time ago. It was about a young boy named Bill Spunska who ended up never played hockey before in his life. And the names in these books are just phenomenal. Like there's one kid in there, I always remember his name was Horatio Big Canoe. But these were books. So it ended up to be Scrubs on Skates, boy on defense, and then this Bill Spunska got an invite to the Leafs camp. So there was
really,
yeah.
I've never even heard of this. I'm gonna have to look into it.
These were massive books back in the day. I think they were probably grade 7 for level of reading. But back in the day, Duke, we got our hands on the library pretty easy because my mom was a grade 1 teacher. So we went in and explored. Or
I frequented the Delburne Centralized School Library most of my 12, I guess 13 years total if you include kindergarten. But listen, it's small town school. They're pretty liberal about how long you keep the books, and they might send you a note, say, hey, you still got this? And you say, yeah, I'm still working on it. They'll be like, all right, no worries, carry on. Do you ever read Catcher in the Rye?
I don't know if I have.
By Salinger?
No.
Yeah, I haven't either, but it's considered right. It's right in.
Is that a high school book too? Then
I would think so. I would think so. Huckleberry, you read that, Josh? No. Okay.
I'll tell you, Duke. I'm going to read a lot more when I
once you hang them up.
When I hang up the old computer here.
What about a George Orwell book? 1984, Animal Farm.
We never you're always reading sports stuff. Like I was reading Sports Illustrated. You know,
in junior high, I read every single issue of the Hockey News, cover to cover. I read the letters to the editor. I read the last page stuff, which was usually about some ECHL team's new jerseys or something.
In college, Duke, when I did go to college, you could read an excerpt from anything. Okay, so I think I just read Sports Illustrated. This was in front of the class. You had to read it. We had, and I'll never forget her name, and I'll never forget this day in school. Her name was Julie Moberg, and she read a chapter of Lady Chatterley's Lover. And it was the most, it was erotic.
Oh, my God.
And the teacher's name was Ruth Toner, and she was white as a ghost. It was just
well, why'd she read it?
I don't, for a reaction. We were all sitting there going, we could not believe this. What was going on? And I don't know. I enjoyed it myself.
I bet you did. You bad boy.
Terrible. Good stuff, Duke. Coming up, we're a little late to him. We'll get Ryan Holt on from the Bakersfield Condors play-by-play man right after the break. Before that, time now for a Sports 1440 update. Brought to you by AWS Welding Supplies in Nisku. Product sales, servicing, calibrating, free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Naduke, Nisku, South Edmonton. Your one-stop shop for all things welding, awswelding.ca. Here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Lone game on the NHL schedule tonight has the Oilers back at home, taking on the Dallas Stars. Puck drop coming just after 7 o'clock local time. Stuart Skinner expected to start in the net for Edmonton. Over in the association, light schedule there as well. Just 3 games. The Wizards host the Hawks. Magic are in Philadelphia, and Battle of LA with the Lakers taking on the Clippers from Crypto.com Arena. Over in the majors, offseason moves continuing to shuffle the deck. Boston Red Sox acquiring pitcher Sonny Gray from the St. Louis Cardinals, and Canadian Olympic curling trials continuing from Halifax. Earlier this morning, women's draw had finals. Carrie Anderson moving to 5-0, beat Team Sturmey. Black over Skrillex 6-5. Holman moves to 4-1 with a win over Team Brown, and Caitlin Laws defeating the Cameron Rink 5-3. Coming up here at 11 o'clock, it'll be Gushu, McDonald, McEwen, Cleater, Jacobs, Epping, and Dunstone versus Alberta's Kevin Cooey. Coming up in hour 4 of the Kevin Carey Show, we'll be joined by Bakersfield Condors play-by-play man Ryan Holt and Connor Halley from Fantasy Frenzy. I'm Brandon Douglas at your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440, Stingray radio station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
You know your neighbor, right? The one who watches your house when you're away, who keeps their yard looking nice, who says hello every day. That's us. GS Construction. Now, we probably don't live right beside you, but we do live in your community. And when it comes to water and wastewater infrastructure, moving along smoothly, we're the ones doing that work. GS Construction has been doing it since 1974, over 50 years. So you could say we are your neighbors who wear hard hats and work boots. To find out what your neighbors do, visit gsconstruction.ca.
More Edmonton families than ever are struggling as food prices skyrocket. The Holiday Hamper Foundation provides festive meals for 2,000 homes in need. Your donation ensures a turkey is on the table for every family. Donate today at holidayhamper.ca.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Diablo Boots sells only Canadian-made work and biker boots made by Canada West. No American or boots made in China, so no tariffs. All of Diablo's boots have replaceable soles and heels for longer life. Sizes 6 to 14 triple E. Buy quality, buy Canadian. And support Canada West and Diablo, the two best names in the boot business. So save on boots by Save On Foods. That's Diablo Boots, 3340 Gateway Boulevard on the east side of Save On Foods. Buy Canadian. They're terrific.
Just in time for the morning skate. This is the Kevin Karius Show on Sports 1440.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 10:03 in Edmonton. Kevin Karius, Duke of Delburne with you, as well as Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram. And time now to talk a little Bakersfield Condors hockey with Ryan Holt, the play-by-play man down there. Hey, Ryan, good morning. You're with Kevin Karius. Thanks for jumping on Sports 1440 once again. Really appreciate it, big guy.
Good morning. What's happening? How are we doing?
Well, we're looking forward to the sole game on the NHL schedule tonight. Don't have to tell you what it's like down there in the States with Thanksgiving week, right? Because we've got one game tonight, then we got 15 tomorrow, none on Thursday. So does the NHL...
Great job marketing by the by the NHL to do one game and not have it be on national TV here in the States. So that's good.
Does the AHL schedule mimic because of Thanksgiving week?
Yes, very few teams. I don't think anybody plays on Thanksgiving here. There are some ECHL teams that play on Thanksgiving as a tradition. There might be one or two AHL games on Thanksgiving, but other than that, it's just a usual. Teams will play tonight. Some will play tomorrow, and then usually Friday and Saturday. We're thankful we have the entire week off. We're off until Saturday. So guys had an off ice day yesterday. I think they did some yoga and some off ice conditioning yesterday, and then they got back on the ice here this morning in about an hour.
It always it's a big beneficial part of the season schedule when you are able to recharge, and it's kind of like the Oilers this week with just the one game as well. Ryan Holt with us on Sports 1440. So I've explained the Oilers season so far is about treading water right now. Is that where you would describe a team that's 7-6-4 down there, Ryan? Similar? What do you think?
I would say finding an identity here, has kind of been the early kind of storyline. We're not even 20 games into the season. This is a group that we had 4 regulars back from last year, and there is a lot of turnover in the American Hockey League, but I think this year there's more turnover than ever before, especially for this organization, just with the amount of new bodies that have come in, either from other organizations or most notably from Europe. We had an influx of undrafted players come from Europe and looking for an opportunity, and boy, they found it. So it's been an exciting team so far. We're highly offensive. We're one of the top 5 offensive teams in the league. We do give up our fair share early on. I think that'll even out here as the season goes on, but I think this is a fun group to be a part of, and it's a young, exciting, dynamic team early on the season.
Well, let's get to some individual players, Ryan. And Ike Howard was sent down a couple of weeks ago. What have you seen from him so far in Baco? Because he's putting some numbers on the board, that's for sure.
Yeah, I would say he's done what's been probably expected or anticipated of him, and then some here early on. 7 points in 4 games. He's been with Quinn Hudson and Josh Szymanski for those first 4 games, and they've been terrific since they've been put together. So I think he's done what's been expected of him, and he's taken the opportunity, and I think he's enjoying the amount of minutes that he's getting. Obviously, he's playing on the power play here. He's killing some penalties as well too. So trying to round out his game a little bit and find avenues to eat some more minutes, I think, when he does get back to the NHL, and not just being a guy who needs to play 15, 20 minutes a night, because quite frankly, that's probably not going to happen. So, for Howard, it's a good opportunity for him, a little bit of a reset for him. I don't think anybody didn't expect it. I think maybe going into the season, I certainly expected to see him at some point, I thought, during the year. And, he'll be a full-time NHLer down the road. When that day comes, is up to the big brass. But, he's been terrific here. Again, we have a young locker room, so he's kind of fit right in with the group and has enjoyed being here and obviously, putting up some good numbers.
How responsible would you say, Ryan, he's been defensively so far?
Good. And I think, one area I think that, at least just from watching, Oilers games is his forechecking has been, significantly better at this level. I don't know if that's a difference in level or what that may be, but, that line has driven offense, more so than having to rely on their defensive zone, because they played in the offensive zone. And I think that's a way of being able to attack things as well too. They make plays, they possess the puck. His skating is good, much like Hudson, much like Szymanski, and they're finding their way early on. We're talking about a guy who's played 20, 21 games professionally. So there's a long runway here. He's younger than some others, kind of in his pool. So looking forward to seeing what he can do.
Yeah, and maybe it's something like, the coaching staff and the organization just said, we want you to really establish that forecheck, see what you can do, get in quicker than what you have been so far, and maybe that's one of his assignments. Ryan Holt with us, Connor's play-by-play man. Whenever guys get called up, I mean, the organization, your chest puffs out a little bit, I would imagine. So when Connor Clattenburg got that call up on the weekend to come to the big club, what was that emotion like? What was the reaction like from the team and everybody down in Baco?
Yeah, he was, I'll use the word shocked. He was caught off guard. I'll say that. He was expecting just to get on the bus and go to morning skate in Ontario, and Keith Gretzky pulled him off the bus. And, I kind of overheard him say, really? Kind of like, you're kidding with me, right? And, when he got back on the bus, guys kind of figured out what that meant. And, he got a big standing ovation from the guys on the team, and a lot of hugs and pats on the back. He was able to call his dad, and his dad obviously was emotional, right? As any dad would be. Great story. He's a guy who, wears his heart on his sleeve. He gives everything and more for his teammates. And, that's why, the circumstances led to him being called up. It was a need for the organization, 2, a salary cap, situation as well too. But 3, he earned it, and is he going to be a full-time NHLer this year? No, I don't think so. But he's a guy who, you can plug and play and listen, yes, he's physical, and yes, he drops some hits, but he can play. He's got a terrific shot. He's got a little bit of a nose around the net. He's a greasy type of player, and I think there's something there. I really do. If that can continue to develop over the next couple of years to get to the next level on a full-time basis, because again, he's a guy who can impact a game playing 6 to 8 minutes a night, and you notice him every night. That night he was first star here, and it was a little bit of a cheeky first star here, but he had the most physical game I've ever seen from one person, whistle to whistle. I mean, I'm not talking the fights. I'm not talking the theatrics, because they were chasing after him. He was as physical a hockey player as I have seen at this level for what he was doing. I mean, it was through the body. It was crunching checks. He was getting a rise out of the crowd just from his hits. It was fun to watch, honestly. And, happy for him. Colin Chuck calls him a throwback, a dinosaur. His style of game is kind of leaving the game a little bit, but there's definitely always a need for that physicality and just that stick up for teammates type of atmosphere.
Well, and he can change the momentum in a game just by a hit or a shift and the way he plays. There's no denying that. On the back end, Ryan, there was a lot of eyeballs on Atro Lepinen at camp, just because of his age and the fact that he could have stayed overseas and played in Europe, but he wanted to give this a whirl. What have you noticed from his game so far this year?
Yeah, it was definitely a little bit of growing pains, I think, early on for him. So maybe the first 10 games, but over the last 6 or 7, he's been much better, much more comfortable. You're seeing the offensive side of his skill set start to come to the forefront, which is nice, but it hasn't been for a lack of on the defensive side, which has been honestly, and I think if you even asked him, a little bit of an adjustment as well too. This whether it's the ice surface, the just the dimensions of the ice and the rink, and get used to that, but also just the time, space, quickness of the league. I think some players, or maybe in Europe, undervalue maybe what the AHL can be or is, and it really is the second best league in the world, I think, and it's a grind, right? I mean, you have back-to-backs, you have travel. It's a little different than being in Europe, so I think he's adjusting to that. I think he's liked having some Finns around as well too, with Järventie and Marjala, and Szymanski being a European as well too. I think they've enjoyed being here. I would anticipate the next 20 games for Atra Lepinen being much better than the first 20. And let's face it, I mean, he still had 10 points in 17 games. So I think there's something there. He's quarterback in the top power play unit. We have one of the best power plays in the league right now. So I think there's a big step coming for him. I think there's more defensive work to be done on his game, but I think that offense will outshine maybe some of the boo-boos, if you will, on the back end.
I have to ask you about a local product, Luke Prokop. Changing organizations, sometimes it's a good thing, and you need that fresh start. What's impressed you about his play so far?
Yeah, big, physical, steady defenseman. He's shipped in some offense as well too, which has been nice. We've lost Josh Brown. He's probably back this weekend, but Cam Dineen we've lost for an extended period of time here. So Luke's got an opportunity, and when I talked to him last week in San Diego, that was one of his reasons for joining the organization. Obviously, there was familiarity and a comfort level with being in the Oilers organization, but just a fresh set of eyeballs on him, right? He didn't get much of a chance, in Milwaukee or in Nashville's organization. I think he played 30 games or so last year, and was kind of in and out of the lineup for most of the year. So he just wanted an opportunity. But for us, a right shot guy, which we need, and he's filled the role. He's killed penalties for us. He's been physical on the back end. He skates well and he moves the puck well. And that's something that, the new management or the new organization, if you will, when they've looked for guys to bring in the organization, it's, yes, you can have size, but I think the first and foremost on the back end, they want you to be able to move the puck and they want you to be able to skate. I think that's kind of the prototype for a defenseman in this system and moving forward in this organization, kind of under this regime. And Prokop fits a lot of boxes, but I think his size has been great, but also he can skate and he can move the puck, and that's been a big benefit for this team.
Where's your organization with Bo Akey, Ryan, in the sense, spending some time in the East Coast League this year with Fort Wayne?
Yeah, I think that was just to get back up to speed. He missed a significant amount of time in training camp with an injury. So at that time we had Dineen and we had Brown, so there wasn't many minutes to be going around early on. But now without Dineen, without Brown, Akey gets the call up and he's fit in seamlessly too. Little bit of an undersized defenseman, again, much like a Damien Carfagna, but again, his skating and his puck moving ability are his calling card. And you have to treat him as well too, like he's joining a new organization, because again, he was drafted by kind of the old regime. He's coming in now to a fresh set of eyeballs, fresh set of management staff, and he has to impress. He'll get every opportunity back there because again, there's no other drafted defenseman back there. So he is hit in terms of guys who can progress at this level. He's a young kid, 20 years old. Let's see what he is 2-3 years down the road and see what they end up having in him as he develops here in Bakersfield.
Ryan Holt with us on Sports 1440. Well, let's get to the elephant in the room, and that's goaltending down on the farm. How long was it that when Connor Ingram went down there and saw some game action and then just said, you know what, I need to get some practice time and get away and work on getting back to where I need to? Where's Connor Ingram at right now, Ryan?
Yeah, obviously he didn't have training camp, right? He was sitting around Utah, didn't have much conversation with them. And then they called one day and said, hey, you're traded to Edmonton. Or they called and said, hey, you're on waivers. And then, hey, you're traded to Edmonton. So I think for him, when he first got here, he wanted to play right away, and he did, and he had a successful first start. And I think that maybe masks the quickness of how to come back and play pro hockey quickly after having so much time off. And struggled a little bit. I don't think we were very good in front of him defensively, so I don't think that was helping. But was able to kind of hit the reset button. Took about a week and a half, 2 weeks to let Tompkins kind of run with the net. We were winning, so that was good. And then came back, and Ingram's had 3 really good starts, I think, since coming back. And I think he's been a .905 save percentage in his last 3. So good for him. He's a quiet netminder. He goes about his business. Anybody who's read the stories, he doesn't like the attention. He just wants to stop pucks and play hockey. And I think that's great for him. He's in a great spot. He enjoys being around here. He's got some good veterans to kind of be around. I think the youthfulness of the team kind of keeps him young too. So, he's looking to get back to the next level. Is it going to take some time? Yeah, it's probably going to take some time, probably more so than Oilers fans, maybe wanted or desired. But at the end of the day, he's here to continue to play hockey and do what he does and do what he loves. And, he's been a good soldier for this group. And again, much like a Leppinen, I think, the next 10 starts for Connor Ingram, I think are going to be much better than the last 10 starts, if you will.
What do you think the split's going to be here moving forward with Tompkins and Ingram, Ryan?
Yeah, I would say Ingram's probably, I don't know what the word is, the preferred. I'll use that word. I think he probably starts on Saturday, for our lone home game against Henderson. Back-to-backs are always a beast here in the AHL. So, next week we're in Henderson for a back-to-back, but there's back-to-backs with travel that you'll see the splits of the goaltenders just from a standpoint of you would never have that happen in the NHL. So why would you do it in the AHL? So I think, he'll get his work in, but Tompkins has been good too when he's been in there as well. So, he's, I know the numbers look wonky, but there's a 7-goal or an 8-goal game on opening night that you could just throw out the window because I think we were playing pond hockey in that game. So, so I think just throw that one out the window and the numbers start looking okay. Same thing for Ingram. There was a start there at the end of a 12-day road trip on a back-to-back. Just throw that one out. And again, the numbers don't look as bad as you would assume when you just look online. So I would say Ingram probably gets the preferred starts, if you will, and then moving forward, we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you can't answer this, Ryan, but with Samuel Janssen playing quite well in Fort Wayne, do you think that there's a chance that he gets a look in Baco at some point this year?
I would say maybe at some point, Janssen and Day has been good down there, and they had to find a home for Connor Unger, who's kind of the odd man out, just because I don't think they anticipated Ingram being an option this year. I think the initial plan was probably, Tompkins and one of the younger guys, but Ingram kind of fell in their laps here a bit, and they were able to give him a shot. So I think it's a great problem to have. I think, we've seen the last couple of years, whether it's Olivier Rodrigue spent a full year in the ECHL. Stuart Skinner was in the ECHL for a full year. Go back to Laurent Brossois. He was with us in Bakersfield in the ECHL before he ended up with us in the AHL. So I think there's something to be said about goaltenders just being able to play. Yes, that level is the jump from the ECHL to the AHL is much greater talent-wise up front than it is from the AHL to the NHL. I think your AHL numbers translate well. Let's see what the ECHL numbers do. History would say that if you're really good in the ECHL, you're pretty good in the AHL and can kind of develop into an NHL goaltender. But those guys, I mean, the size and the pedigree that they have, you would eventually like to see them, get a shot, and I think they will here at some point.
Hey, Ryan, thanks so much for giving us an update down on the farm. Really appreciate it. Enjoy sort of a little bit of a week off for you guys, and good luck against Henderson on Saturday, and always enjoy American Thanksgiving, man. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thanks, Kevin. Take Thursday off too. You should too. You deserve it.
Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, little NFL. We'll see what happens. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
That's
Kevin. Take care.
Bakersfield Condors play-by-play man. Again, a little bit of a wonky schedule in the sense that they don't have a game till Saturday against Henderson. So some time to recharge. And as he says, that AHL schedule, you're so a lot of 3 games, 3 nights. You're playing a lot. When we come back, the con man, Connor Halley, will be with us. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne. Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Looking for the perfect used ride? Now's the time. Drive away for as little as $25 bi-weekly. Go Auto has over 7,500 used vehicles in stock with something for everyone. From budget-friendly cars and road trip-ready SUVs to powerful work-ready trucks. With around 70 locations across Canada, your next vehicle is closer than you think. Whether you're upgrading, downsizing, or buying for the first time, we've got the right ride at the right price. But don't wait. These deals won't stick around forever. Start shopping today at goauto.ca.
Aloha Edmonton, it's back. Century Vision Care's 4th annual Maui Christmas event on Friday, December 12th from 9 to 5. Century Vision Care, Edmonton's biggest Maui gym retailer, is bringing the island spirit to your holiday shopping. Enjoy in-house savings on all prescription and non-prescription Maui gyms, plus giveaways, prizes, snacks, and beverages all day. Same-day eye exam appointments are available, and they direct bill most insurance plans, but spots are filling fast. Get ahead on your Christmas list and treat yourself to a new pair of Maui gyms. Visit Century Vision Care on Instagram.
Sports 1440 is your front row seat to the wild world of sports. Local legends, national headlines, and everything in between. Your game, your station. This is Sports 1440.
The job won't wait. Why should you? At AWS Welding Supplies and Repairs, conveniently located in Nisku, we've got everything you need to get it done. From product sales to servicing and calibrating machines, we're your one-stop shop. We're a proud, locally owned and operated business, committed to serving our community with a proven track record of customer service. Don't let a broken tool slow you down. We offer fast repairs and free same-day delivery of in-stock items to Leduc, Nisku, and South Edmonton. AWS Welding. We make it happen.
At Fountain Tire, get up to 15% off select tires, up to $125 off a set of 4 select Goodyear tires, and $50 off $150 service until December 13th. Restrictions apply. Book today. Fountain Tire. We're on this road together, Canada.
It's the Nissan Black Friday event, a full month of excitement packed with awesome vehicles and exclusive offers. Right now, finance the Nissan Kicks for 0% for 24 months. Plus, get $1,000 Nissan bonus and enjoy an epic ride wherever you go. This Black Friday, we've got great offers and limited inventory. Get yours today before they're all gone. These offers won't last. Go see your local Nissan dealer or Nissan.ca for more details. Conditions apply.
Visit your local Edmonton and area Nissan dealer for more information.
It's week 3 of Canadian Tire's early Black Friday sale. These prices won't go lower this year. Maybe too low. Freezing.
Save up to 50% November 20th to 27th. Conditions apply. Details online.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
All right, welcome back to the big program. 1026 in Edmonton, and our main man on a Tuesday, the con man, Connor Halley, with us from Fantasy Frenzy. And the Jason Greger Show sliding in. Give us a little update on fantasy, little update on the pools that have been going on around here.
Sure.
I get the every day, just like everyone in the pool with our Fantasy Frenzy pool.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing a little bit of a rise in the standings for yours truly.
Are you kicking up a little bit here?
I think the uptick is there, and I got a lot of guys hurt. I got Matthews. I got Jack Hughes.
Yeah, me too.
And one other guy. Oh, Demko.
I've got Point, Hughes, Stone, Dubois, Raquel, Harley, and Hellebuck.
Yikes.
So I'm falling down this. Maybe
Where are you at?
We're just watching, swapping spots. I'm 20th right now.
I think I saw myself at T12 today.
T12. I can check. Yeah, you're right there.
There.
You and Darren. And Dumpster Fire.
Ashley D. So yeah, we're going in different directions. My team is just the walking wounded right now, but such is life.
If you don't stay healthy in these drafts, you don't have a sniff.
No, I have commissioner tools though. Maybe I should edit my team.
Sure,
See if anyone
no
notices.
one would notice.
Yeah,
No one
all of a
would
sudden
notice.
Connor's team's healthy.
I'm in a bit of trouble. Speaking of fantasy football, because I have and I know there just wasn't anyone out there to draft or to pick up for a roster spot at quarterback. So I'm one of those guys that goes with one quarterback. Now that quarterback is Baker Mayfield.
I heard about this.
Yeah, Gregor talk about it or what?
I don't know if it was on air or off air, but
So he's making fun of me, obviously,
because he has 3 quarterbacks. I hear
he has 3. Is that what he's got?
Well, he has one that's injured.
Okay,
I
so
believe
Burrow's
Joe-
coming back.
Yeah,
and he's got Lamar Jackson. I know he made a trade for that.
He's got Tua as well. No, I don't know if you want Tua.
No, I mean he's got to get rid of Tua here because he's going to have to activate Burrow.
Yeah.
So Burrow, we have the one IR spot, so he's going to take that spot.
And you're kind of if you wanted his scraps, Burrow plays Thursday night, so you do kind of benefit in this case.
Yeah, but he would never release Burrow.
No, but if you want Tua,
if I wanted Tua,
big if.
They play New Orleans. It's not that much of a stretch.
No,
to take Tua because he's got to release him. Then I could pick him up off.
Tua can always pop off. I mean that offense we know is good. That they create separation there. So
I'm in a bit of trouble here as far as what quarterbacks are left. I mean, the list is not great. It's Jacoby Brissett.
He puts up big numbers though.
Oh, that's probably the guy. Bryce Young. I was looking at him until he crapped the bed last night.
That was not a great quarterback performance last night from either side. 5
picks between the two guys.
Yeah.
And some of the passes, never mind the picks, some of the passes were like so far off the mark.
It was like bad execution and decision making as well. Like, Bryce Young, I could probably run for 5 yards. Now I'll throw it in triple coverage. None of it made sense.
So anyway, that game last night then we were talking about it earlier. Like Carolina you're not going to get more of an opportunity to go on the road in San Fran and win a game than they had last night.
Yeah.
And they just said, we don't want to grasp it. We don't want anything to do with this win.
And despite their record 6-5 going into it, like they're still the Carolina Panthers for another year at least.
If they would have won that game, they lead the division.
Yeah, absolutely. That division's up for grabs.
And I was saying, I don't know, where do you stand on this? So they get the touchdown from Ted McMillan. They kick the extra point, but then it's a penalty. So now they're down at the 2-yard line. They go, well, we're going to go for 2.
Didn't like it.
Didn't
like it at all.
So, and I said to Duke right after that is they lost any momentum that they had.
Yeah. Just decline the penalty.
17-10. We go on. Let's go.
Yeah. Now you're in a position where if you do score, you'd have to go for 2 again.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought that was overthinking it a little bit too much. And that's why sometimes I kind of like that boring head coach, like a Jim Harbaugh, or there's times where I'm like, go for it. Take the 3 points. That's how games are won and lost in the NFL. Extra point. Yeah. At the end of the day, it wouldn't matter. But the momentum, like you said, kind of went back to San Fran.
It just felt like it. And then again, the 2 things that I noticed the most, San Fran last night dominated on 3rd down and 3rd and long. We're talking 4, 5, 6. And then also they had 2 drives they had the first drive of the game was 7.5, 8 minutes. Then they had another one that was 7.5 minutes. There's a quarter right there. And you could see little tongues hanging out from the Carolina defense.
Yeah.
I mean, Carolina's close. They're close. You know what? I was watching the other thing that I noticed because Chuba Hubbard went in for a good series there.
Yeah.
And
he had a couple receptions for big yards.
He was good. But Ricky Dowdle's pouting on the sideline.
Was he?
Yeah. Well, he's like, well, how come I'm not in?
Yeah.
I noticed that too.
Maybe he hasn't bought into the
I don't think he's ever bought into it.
Yeah. And I mean, they're paying Chuba so much money. He's going to get those looks. I am interested. I just wanted to bring it up here. Like the Panthers next season, who are they paying? Because they only have $30 million of cap space next season right now.
So who are they paying in the sense like who they have on the cap? Still?
Yeah. I mean, I think on the defensive side of the football, they have a few bigger contracts.
Yeah. So you're saying that they can make some moves and.
Well, maybe, but not crazy moves. Like just for comparison, they have $30 million. Like we talk about how they're close.
Mm-hmm.
The Patriots next season, the Titans will lead the way with $108 million. expected. They're a bad team.
Yeah.
Raiders, 108 million. The Chargers will have 101 million.
Oof.
The Rams will have $86 million to spend. Seahawks, 74. Patriots, 50 million. And then, like, you would think the Panthers would have a lot of money, but $29 million. So they might make some moves and free up some cap space. They always do. But, I mean,
Do
it's
they
not
got dead cap space that we're not seeing or something or what?
$9 million in dead cap.
Dead cap?
Yeah. So we'll see what they do and how much they spend. The Jets, guess how much dead cap they have next year?
45 million.
71 million.
Wow.
Yeah. Leading the way, the Saints are at 65. But the Saints right now for next year, $8 million over the cap. They always just push it down the line.
Yeah.
So they go season by season.
I don't know if that franchise will ever get back to where it once was.
Probably not. I mean, they needed Tyler Shuck to hit.
Yeah.
They need a franchise quarterback on a rookie deal, I think. And I don't know if it's going to.
So here's the other thing. I mean, Alvin Kamara there's a lot of miles on Alvin Kamara.
Yeah.
He's your franchise player. And I don't know how much is left in the tank there.
Well, and why haven't they moved on from him? Taysom Hill is $14 million cap hit.
They trade Shaheed, right?
Yeah, trade Shaheed. Cameron Jordan still making a pretty penny, but I think you want to keep him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious about Chris Olave and what the future could hold for him, because he'll be a UFA in 2027. I assume he's getting his 5th-year option picked up, but then can they keep him? What's their cap situation going to be with him? Because right now he's still on a pretty team-friendly deal, but that's going to change.
I guess what your Chargers play the Raiders, eh?
Raider week.
That's just guaranteed. That's the free bingo space.
Family, trust, respect. Well, they feel like they've kind of split the Raider week over the last decade or so. But this one's at home. The Raiders, new offensive coordinator. I guess we'll see. The Chip Kelly experiment didn't work. Shocker. What Pete Carroll has in store for the team. I always say that Max Crosby is an absolute menace. He can wreck games, and the Chargers' absolute weakness is their offensive line right now.
Wow.
When you have Joe Walton, Rashawn Slater, I'm not as worried about Max Crosby. Like, he's still going to get his. They're down 4th and 5th tackles. Like he could be a bit of a problem. But their offense struggles. The Chargers' defense might be a good option this week in fantasy if they can just take away Brock Bowers. But yeah, I'm happy to see that it is the Raiders this week because the future is tough. They got Chiefs, Broncos, Cowboys, Eagles. They might fall out of that playoff spot.
I'm trying to think of the best or one of the better slates of football for Thanksgiving Thursday.
Yeah.
And then tack on Friday now because they had this Friday night game because, the NFL are just pigs, right? They have to.
Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
The 1 o'clock game.
Yeah. So, I mean, they're
taking it over.
They bullied the NBA out of Christmas
now
Day.
they want Christmas.
I mean, it's an entity that cannot be stopped.
But it's awesome, right? Like when they start playing Christmas games, I'm like, this is great. Sorry, NBA.
Yeah.
Love the games, love their cool jerseys, but I'm going to watch football now.
So when you look at this slate, I mean, Packers, Lions, Chiefs, Cowboys, and then Bengals, Ravens on Thursday. And I wouldn't say that this is the best slate until Joe Burrow, because if Burrow's back now, you're going, okay, this could be a great shootout at the end of the night. The Chiefs, Cowboys, they're saying this could be the most watched game of the regular season ever.
It's massive.
Yeah.
No one, a lot of people off work, majority of people off work.
Everyone's off work, yeah.
Cowboys, America's team. You got the Swifties that'll be tuning in for Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
It's going to be a great slate. I'm so happy that we now have the 2 TVs in the studio in a position where we're not cranking our necks to watch it. But yeah, the night game was kind of like, we'll see Lamar Jackson. Is he healthy? But then you insert Joe Burrow into the game, and he put it on social media. He's back, so it's gonna be a great day of football. I wish we were
not working.
I wish we were American for the day, but what can you do? Yeah, we'll be okay though. We'll have it on here.
We had so many, Frank Saravalli was on. He's talking about what he does for American Thanksgiving because he said, "Can I go on Wednesday instead of Thursday?" Then we had Levine on from Dallas, and they get together and do a little hockey.
Oh, really?
They play hockey in Dallas, and it's like a Dr. Pepper center. And he says 40 some guys show up, and they play a game, and then They have beers after in the parking lot. And
And then you're off Friday.
Off Friday, yes.
Watch some football, maybe go do some shopping, and then it's the weekend. Like it sounds lovely. I think one year I might have to take these days off. And it's also for Brandon and I tougher to book shows on those 2 days because a lot of Americans are just like, no, got festivities.
And Friday too, yeah.
Mhm.
Why would they?
Yeah.
Why would they?
So it's like an all Canadian show, all Canadian NHL markets.
Well, maybe we should take that off.
We could propose it.
Hey,
what's the worst the boss will say?
I don't know.
Just run Fox Sports Radio.
Yeah. I mean, the content is going to be all NFL anyway, right? 'Cause
Yeah.
some of those people.
I mean, Oilers don't play Thursday, Friday. Why do we have to be here?
Well, let's work on this. We got a couple days.
The flu will run through the studio.
Anything else, Conman, that you wanted to mention from NFL or anything? And just kind of.
I mean, the Patriots are an interesting storyline this year. I will say, we talked about it a little bit on Fantasy Frenzy yesterday. I think the Indianapolis Colts kind of showed us who they were against the Chiefs. I don't know if Daniel Jones can win you a football game in the playoffs against a team like the Chiefs or the Ravens potentially if they're healthy, and the Bills, the Broncos, like those higher end teams. I don't know if they can do it unless they get a lead early on. So I thought that was kind of showed who they were. The Bears and the Patriots continue to win. The two teams that I've been vocal saying I don't think they're as good as their record indicates, but playing last place schedules, winning close games, they're on the right path, but I don't know if I'm as sold or as high on them as other people might be. Other than that, just a good week in the NFL.
Well, imagine if somehow Dallas, and I mean, they came back to beat Philly. Say Dallas wins, and then the Bears go into Philly and win that.
Yeah. And we all love to have fun with Jerry and the situation and like how he handles his free agents, but you lose Parsons. I think edge rushers are easier to find than that interior guy like a Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark. And, if they build that defense out from like the interior of the line and build back, like maybe they got something here. Like
there's some linebackers there that are getting better.
Logan, the guy they got from Cincinnati. Yeah.
Wilson.
They've got some nice pieces there. And trading, the way it all worked out, if you would have said, okay, we're giving up Michael Parsons, but we're going to get Quinnen Williams and Kenny Clark.
Yeah.
Frank Clark. It's been a while since we talked about him. It's not the worst thing. So, and then a lot of people, I guess Cowboys fans were telling us like, hey guys, Parsons isn't that good against the run either. So, you lost a really good player, an elite player that I would have paid. But I think as big pictures, it's worked out. The Cowboys defense is kind of coming together here, and you add a few more pieces. It cost you some draft picks, I know, but you start to add a few more pieces, and maybe they got something that can match this offense. And I still think you probably want to add another running back, maybe trying to find that stud, but Pickens and CD Lamb, Ferguson, they got some nice options there for Dak. And if they keep him healthy, we've seen it before, that guy can sling the football. So they were the butt of the jokes for a while, but I kind of like what they've done.
The more you're talking about this, the more it looks like it could be a sick day on Thursday.
Yeah.
Might have. And then, then you might as well take Friday off too, right?
You got to start selling it now. Like, yeah, something's coming up. And then maybe tomorrow as you leave, text Gregor, hey, I'm not feeling too good.
Oh, man. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Well, the Duke will handle it, right?
Sure. The Duke and Fenny together.
We'll get Sam to come in and run the digital stream, and you're set.
If you say so.
Easy peasy.
Thanks, Conman. What's coming up on the Gregor Show? Do you have a lineup in order here?
We're piecing it together right now. Estrella will be by Dave McCarthy from SiriusXM, DVD, no spec, of course. Trying to line up, I'll say this, a former NHL coach. We'll get someone from Dallas. And actually, you guys just had Ryan Holt on, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah,
he hasn't replied to me, but I have a request for a Bakersfield Condor as well. So piecing it together.
Well, he was talking about Ike Howard down there. He's got 2 goals and 5 assists in the 4 games so far. And doing a lot of other stuff. Like, he was talking about being in on the forecheck a little bit more too. So maybe that's something they said, you know what, one of your directives here is to get in. We want to see what you can do on the forecheck and see if you can create something in that sense, more than what he was doing here. And I know it's different leagues, but you got to start somewhere.
I'll always remember Matt Savoy last year getting it on the forecheck, won the puck, got it to Draisaitl goal, right?
Yeah,
so
that's the way she goes.
Pick up those things.
All right, Con Man, have a good one, big guy.
Thank you.
Gregor, among others, down at the rink saying Oilers same lineup tonight against Dallas as we saw Saturday night in Florida. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins will not play tonight and likely an option for Saturday, as is Kasperi Kapanen. So it is the same lineup, McDavid between Savoy and Roslovic. Put Coles and Draisaitl, Mangiapane. Henrique centering Hyman and Frederick. And it's funny, ever since Hyman went down to that third line, he's dragged those guys into the fight, and they've had a lot more balance, more options. And look at that. The Con Man just says that they got Ike Howard coming up this afternoon. Ask him about the yoga that they were doing today. Then Tomashek, Janmark, and Clattenburg on the fourth line. Ekholm and Bouchard, both those guys, they were +5. They were +10 together on Saturday night. Nursing, Regula, Kulak, and Emerson. It is Stu Skinner's net tonight against Big D. When we come back, we'll get to some of your texts. We'll wrap up the show. It's the Kevin Karius Show with the Duke of Delburne and Josh Fenwick on Sports 1440, presented by Sports Select. We're streaming on YouTube, X, Facebook, and Instagram.
Getting in on the sports action you want is as easy as playing at sportselect.com. Simply make your picks online, generate your QR code, and lock in your bet at your local Lotto Spot retailer. Then sit back, watch the game, grip your chair, and high-five anyone nearby. Every bet is 100% legal with the chance of winning cash in hand. Sports Select. When you're ready to play, bet on the original. Must be 18 plus to play. Play responsibly.
Seriously, another door knocker? I really want to go solar, but these high-pressure tactics are exhausting.
And their prices are unbelievable. Before we do anything, let's call Great Canadian Solar.
There's a better way to go solar. Great Canadian Solar provides honest advice and fair pricing to save you from overpaying. They're easy to deal with and will never put pressure on you to buy. As a trusted local business for over 15 years, Great Canadian Solar will support you in your solar journey. Visit greatcanadiansolar.com and call today to get started.
This is Andrew Walker, host of the postgame show on Sports 1440. After every hockey game this season, tune in and chime in as we talk about the game. It's all sponsored by Legacy Heating and Cooling. Don't get left in the cold. Visit legacyheating.ca.
When your driveway's covered in snow, Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital have you covered. Toro's gas or battery-powered single-stage power clear snowblowers make it easy to clear right down to the concrete with incredible Toro-powered Propel technology. Face the next snow day without fear thanks to Toro and the Lawnmower Hospital. Visit lawnmowerhospital.com.
The Lawnmower Hospital.
I'm Rick Showers from No Bull RV, and people often ask me, hey, Rick, do people actually buy RVs from No Bull in the fall?
Fair question, Rick. Why would you want to buy an RV just when it's time to put it away in storage for the winter?
And I have the answer, Bob, because the RVs at No Bull are used, and that means every RV on our lot is a one-of-a-kind. So when you're looking for a used RV, you can be really picky.
One of a kind means you don't have to compromise on what you're looking for.
That's right, Bob. But it also means when you find the right one, you grab it up before someone else does. Sometimes that's in the fall, but No Bull makes it easy because when you buy your used RV now, we include winterization and winter storage for free. We even get it prepared for spring camping at no charge to you. All you need to do is be ready for the great outdoors come next spring. When you think of it that way, the fall might be the best time to get your RV.
And that's No Bull.
NoBullRV.ca.
With over 30 years of sports experience, this is the Kevin Karius Show, brought to you by Sports Select.
Bet on the original at sportselect.com. Please play responsibly.
Duke, are you laying it on the line for the last song of the show? Could you imagine if that song comes back for this year's Stanley Cup playoffs? People,
I just imagine like the opening montage for Sportsnet kicking off the opening night, and it would just send all the viewers spiraling like PTSD. But I know there's one person that would really like it.
Eddie.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie he sent it. Oh my God. So is that what you call a hot button?
I should get that installed as
Why
a hotkey.
wouldn't you?
And I can just play it whenever I want. I don't got to dig it out of the archives.
What of all like the responses? There's been so many like people say, okay, driving off the road.
Something about cats making love.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Guys' wives going through some sort of motions.
Johnny Turnover from Friday Hockey texts in. Hey, KK, I'll be at the Miami game on Sunday. Pick 2 up. I'll tell him to play well when I see him. Well, I'm sure you will, Johnny Turnover. Yeah, Johnny Turnover. Good for at least one large pepperoni pizza up the middle every Friday, at least. Duke, what do you think about this? And I saw our buddy, what's his name? Stephen A. Smith, too, now.
Our good friend, Stephen A. Smith.
I mean, Playbook Vic texts in. What are my Vikings going to do? JJ is not the guy, hence why I wanted them to trade up to take Drake May. Well, everyone talks about all these guys, trading up. Well, like just because, so JJ McCarthy, you're saying will never ever turn out to be, do you think he'll ever turn out to be an NFL quarterback then, Duke? So what have we seen from him? A half dozen games, if that?
You want to hear something startling, Kevin?
Sure.
Then I caught wind of this via another program. A podcast, Pardon My Take, very popular in the United States. A little bit of satire.
Pardon My Take?
Pardon My Take, yeah. Okay. Here's a blind resume between two quarterbacks through their first 6 games of their NFL careers. Quarterback A, 929 passing yards. Quarterback B, 1051. A, 6 touchdowns. B, 5. 10 interceptions for A, 3 for B. 20 sacks for quarterback A, 16 for quarterback B, and a passer rating 57.9 for quarterback A, 76.9 for quarterback B. Now, quarterback A is JJ McCarthy. Number B, Jamarcus Russell.
What? Really? So that's
Jamarcus Russell, through his first 6 games, considered one of, if not the biggest busts in NFL draft history, and he is drastically outplaying JJ McCarthy.
Okay, now are there other quarterbacks that have?
I'm sure there are, but that, like I said, this I heard this, saw the graphic on Instagram. I thought it was worth a laugh. People are very quick to move on. That was an intentional MTR. That's a joke. Number B.
He says the number B, Delburne Education.
Yeah, that was intentional.
Column A, column B.
Yeah,
Number B.
Number B. My point here being, we're so quick to throw guys aside, and there are a couple stories of patience, even if rookie seasons do not go very well.
So
Troy Aikman.
I mean,
Peyton
yes,
Manning.
like Troy Aikman
he won 1 game in his first year.
Yeah.
Actually, he won 1 game.
And no one can tell you, no one can say for sure that after that season, Troy Aikman was going to turn into what he did. It just, no one knows.
But watching JJ McCarthy out of college, was determined as a guy that did not have to do very much on a very good Michigan team.
Okay.
This isn't
and Harbaugh, before he went to the Chargers, did he not say that McCarthy is the best quarterback that's coming out of this draft?
What else are you going to say? He just won you a national championship.
Well,
so as soon as he signs the Chargers paperwork, he says, "Yeah, actually, that guy sucks. Nobody draft him."
I understand that.
I'm much higher on Jaden Daniels out of LSU.
They're going to gas this guy because Stephen A. Smith says he sucks. And then what?
Because Stephen A. Smith, he sucks. Kevin, have you watched the games?
I've watched the games.
He is not, like, I'm not saying he's not good or can't be good. I'm saying he has played very poorly through his first half dozen games. I'm not ready to completely write this guy off yet, but the Vikings won 14 games last year. And they decided as an organization to roll out a guy they put draft capital in.
But they were rolling out with him last year.
They were going to, and good thing they didn't, or maybe not. I don't know. How do you determine it? You have one of the best receivers in football, one of the best second WR2s in football, very capable running back duo, great defense, one of the best defensive coordinators running that defense, and you are going to go from 14 wins to maybe a 500 team if you're lucky.
Text 833-401-1440. Vic responds back. He's trusting his gut. Could be wrong. I'll admit it when I am. But he's confident that he's not going to be a quarterback for very long in the NFL. That's why I traded Jefferson to CB Radio early in this year in fantasy football.
Yeah, you got us. Got us good. Kevin, Connor and I were thinking the Addison Jefferson stack could be a lethal one. It has been a huge bust.
Big bust.
Huge bust.
Dr. Phil says, hey, 10-day shift ends Thursday night. Guess who's doing a 9-day shift and then off Thursday with a family emergency? This guy. So he's taking the Thursday off, I think.
Nice. I like that.
Man, oh, man. What's coming up today for the rest of you, Duke? What do you got cooking here?
Well, I'm going to do Fantasy Frenzy, of course, with my good friend Connor Halley. And then I'm going to probably go home and have a short rest before preparing for tomorrow's program, book some guests and the like.
Yeah.
And then Tuesday night, Nate skate.
You're at Nate tonight?
I'm at Nate tonight in the pads. Looks like it might be a light roster. So I already extended the invite to you, Kevin. I don't even know if I'm allowed to.
No, I mean, I got to do Rod Peterson's show right away here at 10 after 11. Then I got to do the alumni skate at 12:30.
Do you know who's going to be rolling out for that?
The alumni skate?
Yeah.
Who?
Oh, I'm asking.
Oh,
you.
I
Do
do
you
know. Yeah, I do know, but I don't have it in front of me. But I don't know. It's
the usual crew.
The usual donkeys. I mean, Dinger's usually around. I don't know.
And then I'm going to come home, catch up on the Oilers game because it's a 7:00 start. Well, we all know 7:18, probably more closely pegged. And then I'm going to be going to bed right afterwards because it's going to be late by the time that one's over.
How about Ryan Holt saying, yeah, the NHL and its infinite wisdom, not sure.
Yeah,
one game.
Not on national TV in the United States tonight. That is mind-boggling.
I mean, especially when you think about it. So nothing on Thursday. Tomorrow.
Which I get it. Why bother competing?
Yeah. But tomorrow you got 15 games. So.
And then, tons of games Friday and tons of games Saturday.
And a lot of afternoon games, right? On Friday.
Oh, yeah. Lots of day games.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. Coming up at the top of the hour, it is Fantasy Frenzy with
the former Ross Shep T-Bird.
Connor Halley and the Duke of Delburne at 12. It's the Lowdown with Alan Mitchell. 2 to 6, Jason Greger drives us home with the Jason Greger Show. Then we've got the pregame show with Andrew Walker. 6 bells. Puck drop just after 7. Postgame show to follow. Before all that, time now for a Sports 1440 update brought to you by First Round. And Sundays got even better at First Round. You could win an NFL helmet or a jersey and enjoy the Pro Bowl brunch only at Edmonton's NFL headquarters. First Round, downtown or on Bourbon Street. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock. Hey, thanks everyone for listening. Thanks for all the great texts. Thanks for being a part of the show. We could not do it without you. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 7 bells. Until then, here is the Duke.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Lone game on the NHL schedule tonight. It's the Oilers back at home for the first time in over 2 weeks as they take on the Stars from Rogers Place. Stu Skinner getting the start in net. Identical lineup from Saturday's win in Sunrise for Edmonton. Puck drop coming just after 7 o'clock. Just 3 games on the hardwood. Lowly Wizards hosting the Hawks. Sixers take on the Magic. And it's a battle of LA with the Clippers facing the Lakers from Crypto.com Arena. From the MLB's offseason, veteran pitcher Sonny Gray is being acquired by the Red Sox from the Cardinals. The 14-year vet is a 3-time All-Star. And Canadian Olympic curling trials continuing in Halifax. Draw 9 this morning. Carrie Anderson beating Selena Sturmey to remain undefeated. Rachel Holman beat Team Brown. Kayla Skurlick losing to Christina Black, and Caitlin Laws defeated Kate Cameron's rank. Draw 10 getting underway here at the top of the hour. Gushu, McDonald, McEwen, Clater, Jacobs, Ekping, and the undefeated Matt Dunstone taking on Alberta's Kevin Cooey. Coming up on Sports 1440, it is Fantasy Frenzy with Hallie and Douglas. I'm Brandon Douglas. That's your Sports 1440 update.
Sports 1440 in West Edmonton Mall